It's the main event.
Was this thing on?
Hopefully it was off earlier. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum. And of course, you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he has to justify the moves. The season ends and all hell breaks loose with NFL players. He's here to justify it. Dale Hellister, hey, everybody.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
I'm in kind of a cranky mood today.
Yeah? Well, you said you had a wonderful evening last night and relaxed by the fire. Smoked some hot dogs.
I got home from HOA meeting and it just wasn't a fun time.
It wasn't.
It just annoyed me.
Yeah.
And then get home and flip the Suns. I didn't expect anything. And then that was a dismal nightmare. And then I was just like, man. So I turned on the Olympics. And next thing I know, I woke up this morning.
See, everything's gone.
Yeah,
New
no,
day,
I woke
sun
up this
came
morning
up.
even crankier than I was yesterday about the meeting yesterday.
Yeah, the meeting, the Suns down by 40.
Yeah.
Woo!
I woke up this morning because we did a McCollum on Business early this morning. And I woke up and I was just like, oh, crankier today than I was last night.
I mean, I'm sitting here, in my mind, I'm cranky from things that happened yesterday, and I don't get paid, 7 figures like you do to run an HOA community.
Why do you do that?
Out.
It's free. I do. I told you before. I show up to this for the verbal and mental punishment for free, folks.
Is it 6 or 7 figures that you get from sponsors?
It's free.
He's got
free.
sponsors.
It's free.
HOA sponsored.
Yeah, I'm going with
Burrito Express.
Yeah, I'm gonna have shirts all over, advertising all over my shirt. Your HOA president, brought to you by.
Okay, I do got a couple gripes.
Well, give it to us.
I'm going to be Steve for the
nobody
first
wants to hear
couple
my
minutes.
nonsense.
I'll be Steve for the first
All
couple
right,
minutes.
let's go. Let's do it.
All right, number one. I turn on the Suns game. I see 3 dudes sitting there in street clothes.
Yeah, I have a problem with this also.
Grayson Allen hurt his knee. Fine.
Reevaluated after the trade, after the All-Star break.
Jalen Green and Devin Booker, 2 totally separate situations from Grayson Allen.
Yep.
If Devin Booker plays in the damn All-Star game, I'm going to be pissed.
He's doing the 3-point contest.
Because it's exactly like we got all over your boy last year, Ketel Marte, taking a Sunday off so he can be ready for the All-Star game.
Preach.
And not that Devin Booker's going to make up a 40-point deficit. I think that they could have brought back Alvin Adams and Garfield Hurd and
Jesus himself
and
ain't
Steve Nash and Shaquille O'Neal.
Ain't stopping that team.
And Tom Chambers, and they're not coming close to
Jesus on water is not, and them playing in water is not stopping this Thunder team.
But I mean, that Oklahoma City, you tip your cap. But having said that, to see them sitting there in street clothes,
Yeah.
you don't play till next Thursday.
Yeah.
You don't play a game for your team till next Thursday.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on the bench.
Yeah. Late scratches. I didn't even know they were out. I missed it because I was getting ready.
They weren't hurt. There's nothing wrong
I was
with
getting
them.
ready for my meeting, so I didn't even see the thing saying they were out or anything like that. So I turned it on. I'm like, why are they out? And I was like, I panicked at first, like, oh my God, what happened?
I almost texted Kevin Ray and said, Kevin Ray, are you doing both games of a back-to-back? Because I thought everybody gets the night off.
You should have done that.
Is your voice okay? My goodness
That
gracious.
should have been hilarious.
It was ridiculous.
I looked it up last night because I know they don't play him every day and he's on minutes restriction for Green, but he hasn't played in 3 games in a row all season long.
And maybe, okay, so at what point are you going to try and play him in 3 games in a row?
Last night would have been the night.
You got a week off.
I would even argue if anybody should have gotten a day off yesterday, probably Dylan Brooks to avoid getting that stupid 16 technical.
Well, you can't give him the rest of the season off. He's going to get that anyway.
God, man. Jeez.
So that bothered me.
Yeah, that did bother me.
So
too.
as soon as I saw that, I saw they're down by 20 at that point. I said, well, they're not here. I'm not watching.
This is how simple Dale's life is,
Yes.
folks. His complaints are sports related.
Yeah. Well, yours is more simple. And then the second thing is,
Mine are glutton of punishment on my own.
what's going on with NFL football players?
Yeah. We didn't. I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to bring it up.
I don't want to get into it at all, but I'm just saying.
But I agree with you. I do agree with you on your thought and your leading process. He's talking about the one that
the Pierce
beat up his girlfriend and he had to be tackled by 10 cops.
Yeah, Pierce.
And then the other one, the former one that killed his
Lee
wife, girlfriend, or whoever, whatever. Yeah, no, it's just off season comes and
I don't understand it. I've always talked to people because I challenge you to let me know the next offensive lineman that gets charged with domestic abuse, things like that. It's crazy.
It does strike me as interesting how there's certain positions that this happens.
Yep. And I don't. I've never understood. I won't ever understand. You won't be able to ever talk to me about putting your hands on a woman. Mm-hmm. I've had quote unquote acquaintances tell me, well, if they hit you, if they come at you, then you should. You get away from the situation, you get out, and it just makes no sense to me. So that's all I really want to say on it, except for a former player and a current player.
Yeah. A young former.
Yes.
Almost rookie of the year, almost defensive player of the year, folks.
Yeah. And the other guy's recently out of the league, former first-round draft pick.
Linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Lee
from the Jets or whatever.
No, I mean, at least for the bigger societal question when it comes to this, because I find it. I mean, I got a little bit of a giggle. Not that the Pierce situation's funny, but people were like going back this year and saying how like certain offensive linemen like couldn't block him and stuff, and then it took 10 cops to kind of corral him. Those correlations. But I know. But what attributes that to certain positions? Because there's certain positions, whether it be skill positions, like you said, linemen generally get out of it, but defensive guys especially.
No, they don't get out of it. They don't do it.
They don't do it. I should say. Yeah. Let me rephrase that.
Yes.
But it's linebackers, it's defensive linemen,
it's wide receivers.
Wide receivers, some running backs, and it's like, why is it predispositioned to that side of things? And I would argue, and I've always argued this, that tells me that the NFL, I guess it's possible that Pierce woke up that day and something snapped in his brain, but there were warning signs leading up to it in the NFL. How do you watch that? How do you stop that? Because it's not good. Obviously, it's not good. Because it's no different than like if you're, like Bruce Lee, if he would have literally gone and killed somebody, it would have been worse for him killing somebody because he knows how to do it, right? Like Army Ranger people, they can't go get in fights because they could accidentally kill somebody, and that's worse for them going forward. And NFL guys can do serious damage. If you don't know guys, they're strong and stuff like that. And I just don't get how it continues to happen.
No.
And the NFL's just like, oh, we didn't see it coming.
Well, okay, that's a topic when we have more time, because I don't understand how society expects the NFL to be judge and jury.
All right.
And they still want people suspended from games in the NFL, but they're not doing any jail time. No, you suspend
you have
a
problem with that side too. With the rules they have,
yes.
where you just get arrested and you're suspended for 4 games.
Yeah.
Then you're acquitted, but you're still suspended
Yes.
for 4 games.
Yeah, and we can get into that sometime this offseason. We'll have plenty of time to talk about.
Yeah, because the Suns aren't playing well,
and there'll be other
and all the D-backs are getting hurt,
and there'll be other idiots to talk about as the
But no, it is shocking to me. I agree with you when you look at it, especially how close to the end of the season.
Yeah,
it's like the free time.
It's amazing when we'd have bye weeks how much the coaches would hammer in, make good decisions.
The free time, man.
Don't be a dummy. They're afraid to let you go for 3 or 4 days.
Rightfully.
Yeah.
Well, when your life's regimen, I used to be that way. Like in the corporate world, man, my life was set, man. I knew every second of my day what it was. Then I left that, and I struggled for like a year of like, man, I got nothing to do for the next 5 hours. That's why I got into broadcasting, to be honest with you. Was I was like, I can structure something, have something to do for a few hours a day, type of a deal,
Right.
And stuff like that. So I get it. I mean, I obviously never went to those lengths, thank goodness. But it is interesting, societal issues there in terms of the sports side of stuff. And then you got the Olympics, where they're not allowing a guy to wear a helmet to support his Ukrainian Olympians that have died in that battle with Russia and everything. And to the point where he won't change it. They said he couldn't wear the helmet. He could wear the thing. I mean, I get it. You don't want political statements, but the guy's honoring his dead brother that can't compete in this Olympics because they died in a war.
Oh.
And it's just like, I just look at it, I think it's all silly. And then some people go, what's the slippery slope? Not really. If you had friends that are Olympians that died in a war, I don't know, maybe everybody should be allowed to wear a helmet. What's slippery about that? And it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing now?
And then you go from that to Jalen Williams getting honored at Perry High School a couple nights ago. Then he starts off 11 for 11.
They dominate.
28 points.
Just dominate.
Oh, my. 136-109, and that does not do it justice.
Yeah, well, that was without SGA.
Yeah.
He's injured, but they sat some of their players as well. I don't know. It's second night of a back-to-back, Booker's ankle. I can understand it. But here's my other issue with it, because I think about this a lot when I think of stuff. Because I remember being a kid, and I remember, I was privileged enough that where I could go to a lot of games, whether it be free tickets from people my dad knew or to, stuff like that, or just going to a game and getting tickets and getting in, stuff like that. It just, you fell victim to the NBA wrestling guys. And the thing that upsets me the most about it is this Suns team has built itself this year on not being like every other NBA team.
Mm-hmm.
And last night was the first time they were just like every other NBA team out there. Oh, we're just going to rest guys. And it was actually really upsetting to me. I was literally thinking about the kid that goes, we're going to go see the Thunder and Devin Booker and the Suns.
Uh-huh.
Nice. On a school night. It's a special night for them. And they get there and nobody's playing.
Hey, I could even understand, hey, they're also playing on Saturday night and they got a game on Monday.
But that's the justification, second night of a back-to-back.
But they're off for a week.
I don't disagree.
And Devin Booker will be out there running around having a good old time.
He's gonna hit a double and run out to a triple.
Jeez,
like Marte did. No, that's what I think about, and you expect that from the NBA these days. The Lakers did it the other night against the Spurs. They just sat everybody, and they got blown out by the Spurs. You expect that from the Clippers. You expect that from the Lakers. You expect that from the Spurs to a certain extent. This Suns team, you don't expect it to. So I think about all those people that paid full price or possibly scalp price last night for tickets. And then halfway there, you find out Booker's not playing. What?
Yeah.
And that's what disappointed me the most in that. I was like, oh, man, you guys are like everybody else.
And then you look at the schedule. And he'll be out there Tuesday or whenever the stinking All-Star game is. And he'll be having fun at the three-point shooting contest.
Got to protect his ankle, Dale. We had a hitter. It is confirmed. Torey Lovullo did confirm it yesterday. He did not get hit by a pitch. Because I told you, I know somebody that was out there the other day watching him take batting practice and stuff like that. And he had reported that he got hit by a pitch. Torey Lovullo, and like I said, I wasn't reporting it. I was just saying I'm seeing things that he got hit by a pitch. I can't confirm it. I haven't verified it, whatever. Torey Lovullo yesterday said he hit a home run and then said his hand hurts. So he wasn't hit by a pitch. Torey specifically said he wasn't hit by a pitch.
Did he hit a home run off his hand?
Well, that's the question. From what I was reading last night, that bone will just break. Like if you hit something and it like you're just reverbs, like you can break that bone in your hand and stuff. But there is a rash of that ham bone being broken a lot. Like 3 guys are down with it.
Hammy.
3 stars. Ham bone. I'm gonna call it the ham bone. 3 stars are down to start the season. And on top of it, I told you yesterday, Jeff Passan said, guys that have had it before, it's a 4 to 6 week recovery. No, they're saying longer than that now. They're saying 6 to 8 weeks recovery.
You gotta get the strength back. You gotta.
I will say I did read a lot of stuff where for some reason, you don't get your power back. It takes a long time to get your power back.
Yeah,
when you get that injury. But I just like what? So there you go. There's Dale's disappointments last night. His life is so simple. He's just disappointed about sports.
And by the way, I also forgot that Kingston kid at BYU got arrested for felony rape.
He just announced that he's married.
It's like
he's getting engaged.
It's like, come on, guys.
Weird thing about that's right after your quarterback.
Yeah,
he ended up settling that. But you get kicked out of school at BYU for that stuff. But they let him play all last year. I guess they've known about it for a year.
Come on, guys. Make better decisions.
I know. That's the thing. He literally announced like a week ago that he's engaged, and it's like,
keep your hands off of women.
what are you doing? Yeah, it's something weird happening in the world these days. No doubt. I've noticed it. I noticed it last night. My stuff. I got a big lunch today, Dale.
Really?
I'm going to be in the presence. John,
hold on. Are two valuable, famous Dobson alumni going to be in the same spot at the same time?
First of all, we had to check, make sure it was legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to make sure that
well,
it was
is there
allowed.
be security? Because, I mean,
there's going to be security.
That might be target A.
Just to protect both of us from each other. Yeah, I got a big lunch today with him.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
Where are you guys going?
I'm not going to announce it.
Come on.
I don't need to embarrass him with people showing up to see me.
Burger King?
No, but I go, hey, pick anywhere. And he picked the place, and I'm like, of course you picked that place.
Why? That's a good place.
It is. It's really good. I'm actually impressed he picked it. Because I would have been like, Chipotle down the road? The Chick-fil-A over here.
How about I just pick up Chipotle for both of us?
Taco Boys down the road, which Taco Boys is really good tacos.
How about if I pick up Chipotle for both of us? We just meet in the office.
Yeah, come by the office. It's a big lunch today. Well, I don't know. I don't know why we're meeting, but we are.
So did you get everything settled last night in your meeting?
Define settled.
Did you have anybody arrested? Did you kick anybody out? Did you throw things?
No. I'm just losing patience, man. That's all I can say on that.
You say that about after every meeting.
I do. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I wake up the day after meetings and I'm just like full of regret. I should just start smoking and everything. That way I can wake up smelling like cigarettes and regret together. It's just funny how it happens. That was a good meeting. It was a good meeting.
Okay.
It's just some things when you explain things to some people, it's just not good enough. And you just what can you do? And it's like, I don't get it. But I mean, look, we're all dealing with trying times with inflationary, like your insurance bill's up 60% over the last 2 years. Your water bill's up. Like City of Mesa had 2 price increases last year. They're talking about another one this year and stuff like that. It's just, man, it just drains you down. Just when you get into that type of budgeting and stuff like that, it just drags you down into life. You're just like, why?
Yeah.
I'm just going to move to Alaska, live in a hut off the grid, and have the polar bears fight off the polar bears from attacking me all the time. That's what I'm going to do with my life, Dale. Yeah.
And that'd be less stressful than going to HOA meetings?
It might be more fun. I don't know if it'll be less stressful, but it'd be more fun. So that was my night last night, yeah. So and then I was watching qualifying with NASCAR as well last night. We did the debut of the pit stop last night, folks. Well, I did. That is up now on demand here at Robat TV, the YouTube page, as well as a podcast system. The Pit Stop Talk is where you can find that on the podcast, or just search the Pit Stop with Steven. It'll pop right up for you. Like and subscribe that to me, but follow me at the Pit Stop Talk as well on X. Just give me a follow there if you would. We need to get that up. We didn't promote it well the last couple of years. We need to start promoting that better and getting more people involved in this. But the duels today, Dale, they set the running order today of the Daytona 500 on Sunday. So racing matters tonight. Kyle Busch, of all people, wins the pole last night. Kyle Busch. Didn't win a race last year. Old man Kyle Busch.
But he's a successful guy, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's sucked the last couple of years.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is it because of his car?
Some of it.
You're driving a Volkswagen?
Some of it is also just sometimes you just get old.
Yeah?
Let's just put it that way.
Like old? Was he in his 40s?
Is he 40 yet?
I don't
Might
know.
be 38.
Okay.
From Las Vegas. Kyle Busch from Las Vegas.
Okay.
No, you take a beating in a race car. It's, leading up to it and stuff like that. The other thing is, the more successful you get in racing, this always cracks me up. Like, people think he's 40 years old. People think, like, race car drivers are just always around, working on stuff, tinkering. At that level, he does simulator work and stuff like that around the team, but he shows up for a meeting like on Monday. Then he shows up to the racetrack, when he's required to, like on a Friday. He's off doing other stuff. And I just notice as they get into that other stuff out there, your focus wanes a little bit.
Yeah.
As you get out there, you're relying on your team to set it up right and stuff to that effect. And you're focused, and I get it. They're just getting in a car race, but it's more than that. You have to have the car right, stuff like that, and everything. But maybe this is a good sign for him this year, because last year, first year in 19, I think, where he hadn't won a race on the NASCAR circuit was last year.
Well, isn't it kind of like a fighter, whether you're talking about UFC or boxer or whatever, makes it, and all of a sudden,
yeah.
I always heard Lou talk about now you're
fire.
sleeping. You're sleeping in satin sheets and you're flying private.
John McEnroe, I think it was McEnroe, but one of those. Who was the guy that always yelled at the judge in tennis?
Yeah. It was McEnroe.
It was McEnroe with the headband.
Yeah.
In the afro.
Yeah.
But I remember he famously said, they were like, "Man, your kids play." He goes, "Yeah, they play tennis." And then they go, "No, they grew up. Their problem is affluence."
Yeah.
Because it's no different. Like you said, Mike Tyson started to lose it. When he started making the money and, being able to date the superstar women and models and all that stuff, you start to lose that stuff at that point in time. And then you lose that fire in that gut. Twisted Sister, Dee Snider talks about that. And they're like, "Man, can you do another album?" He goes, "What am I going to sing about? Being rich and not having a care in the world?"
Yeah.
He goes, my first albums were angry because I was angry at the world on how they treated me and stuff like that. He goes, I can't make an album now that people are going to relate to.
I'm too happy. But it does, as an athlete, I would think as a race car driver, as an athlete, all of a sudden you made it. And that's why I've always said, when you give guys these $100 million contracts, you got to make sure they're the right kind of guy. Because here you are working to get that.
But that's the problem. You don't know if they're the right guy until you think you know, but you don't know until it hits.
Somebody can surprise you, yeah.
Yeah, it's you all of a sudden. I've read some stories where they're like, "We thought he was the one," and then they gave him the money. Like, guy doesn't show up anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever, not going to touch me. I'm do this, So it is fascinating. It is fascinating to see. I know Dale wanted to talk today about Bad Bunny losing a lot of audience there for his halftime show.
Really?
Yeah, that's all the talk today.
I did not see that.
Yeah, my opinion was in that game, and I said it in my predictions, that we're going to know the outcome of this game and the winner in the second quarter, probably. And then the second half's just going to be a running fest by Seattle. And I felt like it went out that way. So a lot of the lost audience at halftime could just be people going, "Snooze fest."
Yeah, well, what else? Oh, Olympics
the
are
Olympics
on.
were on.
Yeah.
That's the other side. You had something else you could turn to. Normally you don't. Normally you just have to leave it on. But you could have turned to Peacock and watched the Olympics at that time, if you wanted to. Montana linebacker. Oh, yeah. Talapupu. You talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
9th year in the NCAA.
9th year, Stephen. So he should come out with a double doctorate.
Call him doctor. Man, when I used to make that joke about Cam Rising, because he was in there, but he would get injury designations to come back.
Right.
And everything. But I used to make that joke where I'd call him Dr. Rising and stuff because he was at Utah for like 8 years, 7 years, whatever it was, 6 years. And I used to make that joke and everything. And now that joke's just like, oh my God, I was ahead of the time with that joke. How many doctorates are we going to have moving forward?
9 years.
Yeah. The Ukrainian slider, I guess is what they call him. Where he's out with the helmet protest. You know what it reminds me of? And I'm not in any way comparing him to Antonio Brown. But remember when Antonio Brown lost his mind that they outlawed his helmet that he liked to wear in the NFL? Remember that one where he actually painted one of his helmets himself with spray paint?
I do.
That's kind of what that reminded me of. I know it's a different situation. I get it. But how much do you fall in love with your helmet as an NFL player?
Well, there is a certain, two things. It's interesting you brought that up because
Thank you.
Obviously your helmet is your protection.
Yes.
You get it fitted, you get it broken in,
But you get them all that way, right?
No, every time if I wear one for 6 games, then I put on a new one Monday coming in.
But I'm not talking about
different.
that. I'm just talking about he wore a certain brand of helmet that the NFL says no longer safe.
Right.
You have to switch helmet. But don't you break in that new style helmet?
You can, but
it just doesn't feel
obviously, if you wear a Rydell or a bike and that feels really comfortable, sometimes it's kind of wearing like a Nike shoe or an Adidas. Sometimes This Adidas shoe doesn't feel right.
I'm going to make this about me for a second. But I remember in junior high, we had these helmets, and they had this pad in the front that just gave me headaches. I'd just be wearing it. It would give me headaches. It was just this hard pad in the front. And that was right as those air helmets were coming out.
Yeah.
So I switched to an L helmet, and I was like, this is heaven. But I'm also on the top. So I get it. But no, I mean, but yeah, that's the thing. You figure everything would break in. I know there's some helmets that you put on, you're just like, I don't like this. This doesn't feel right, no matter how much you break it in.
So you go from a helmet with pads in it. So I made the change.
Remember the air helmets?
From a suspension helmet with one little strap going around the inside of a plastic shell. That was my helmet till freshman year at Saguaro.
Okay.
Then they came out with water helmets, which is a cool idea.
That feels heavy.
Which sounds really cool, keeps your head cool in the summertime. But again, you're a freshman, sophomore in high school, and it literally weighed about 10 pounds.
Wait, do you freeze it to keep it cold in those 2 days?
You could keep the water cool.
No, that seems ridiculous because that instantly told me it was heavy.
But the other thing that I wanted to talk about when you talked about the helmet, in 93, 94, something like that, Jerry was the first one to come out with those alternate jerseys that are now all the rage.
Yeah.
Well, as an offensive lineman, you have your jersey form-fitted to you, all right? I mean, tied down and all that. And
taped in the right spots.
And all of a sudden, we show up in locker room. I think it was for Thanksgiving Day.
No, this was the week of the game, right? If I remember your story.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
We show up the Wednesday. We're playing on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, and they got these new throwback jerseys. And it's like, I still remember Mark Tuinay losing his ever-living mind. He's our left tackle. They're like, I can't have all this stuff dangling out.
Probably had like the long sleeves, right?
Yeah,
they were all fluffy,
baggy,
so a defensive guy could grab it. Yeah.
Crazy.
That is interesting. And normally like you get fitted for that stuff leading up to it, but you guys just showed up and was like, here's your uniforms for this week.
Yep.
But isn't that amazing how you get? I know the Olympic things are different. I'm not there doing the two. But I do find it interesting that you just get situated on stuff like that, especially when you get to that professional level. You just get used to certain things.
Right.
And is a lot of that superstition, though? Or is it actual feel?
Well, your helmet and your jersey as an offensive lineman are two things that are not superstition. It's a real deal.
Yeah. Isn't that fascinating? I was fascinated by that. Did anybody else complain? Was it just the lineman?
Yeah, because
defensive lineman can't like it either, because that a lineman can accidentally get his hand like in the sleeve or something.
Offensive linemen never grab a defensive lineman.
I know you don't.
Yeah,
I know.
You know how that is.
Dale's never seen a holding penalty, an official offensive holding penalty at all. Out there. He wants them all reviewed and outlawed out of the league and stuff to that.
Make the game go quicker.
Hey, did you see the Detroit? We have 3 bowl games officially canceled now. Bahamas Bowl, we knew about. LA Bowl, we knew about as well. But Detroit Bowl has now been canceled as well. This trend's coming, folks, especially when they expand to 16 playoff teams in 24. You're going to see more and more. And I get it, lower tier bowl games. I understand it. The argument is, who watches those anyway? Well, people watch them. People didn't go to them. But people watched them; they got ratings. But I'm just telling you guys, we're going to this trend of these bowl games are going away.
Well, and here's the other thing that people don't really talk about is those lower bowls. Obviously, the payout is much lower to the schools, and now it starts costing you money.
But the guys that are going, the LA Bowl was like last year was Washington and somebody. So I mean, bigger schools, but yeah, these are lower tier teams. This is the problem that we're going to that I want to bring up though. Okay, yeah, Bahamas Bowl's going away, and so is the Detroit Bowl. But these are teams that aren't going to qualify for a bigger bowl going to these bowl games. So you're taking away, group of 5 schools. You're taking away their bowl experiences by getting away of these lower bowl teams. So you're hurting the lower tier teams. Yes, they probably lose money, but to them it's a big deal to go to because they don't do bowl games very much.
And understand that's for 99% of them, that's their last football game they'll ever play.
Absolutely. These aren't guys going pro or are going to be invited there and stuff to that effect. That's what we're losing. That's fine. Get rid of bowl games. They're not profitable, and all stuff like that. But to lose games for these smaller teams and the guys that are just trying to play hard, and get through it, get their degree, and move on with their lives, to me is the worst part about this. And I don't like to see it. I don't like to see it at all. I get the LA Bowl going away. Look, December 16th bowl game for some big schools like Washington, that's a joke. I made fun of that all year long. It's an absolute joke, for that to happen. But for these other bowl games, these other schools, going down there. Now, you could argue as well that, you don't have enough of those lower tier teams that qualify for the bowls, that you run into that. But this is coming down to money, and this is coming down to they're getting squeezed out because they're not getting the attendance because the focus is on the playoffs. Nobody cares about these bottom one. And from that perspective, I'm trying to look up really quick who was in the Game Above Sports Bowl.
What's it called?
Game Above Sports Bowl. Northwestern, Central Michigan, Chippewas.
That was played in Detroit?
That was played in Detroit. Yeah. But I mean, Northwestern, a lot of those kids don't go pros. They don't do well in the Big Ten. And then Central Michigan, absolutely not. And that was a home game almost for Central Michigan.
Right.
To have a little fun. I mean, can you imagine being where's Central Michigan? It's in some small town. But can you imagine being Central Michigan? You're like, we're going to go to Detroit for vacation.
Yeah. It's one thing. Hey, you get to go down to the Bahamas.
They're in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, is where they're at. But this is the sad thing that you see here is we're going to start seeing those types of bowls go away and some of these opportunities, like you said. Because, I mean, I know it's different today. Don't get me wrong. And you played for a very big college football team. You don't you complain about the Sun Bowl, but that's because you had higher expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, just think about that, man. A kid's like, man, I got one more game left in me, and then I got to go, work my engineering job or whatever he's graduating with or whatever. It's a special bowl game for him.
Well, I think about how good our SMU team. My last game was in the Aloha Bowl, which, by the way, my senior year Christmas vacation, pretty cool. Got to spend 5 days in Hawaii, 5 days in San Francisco, and then a week in Tokyo.
I was going to say. So you went Hawaii, San Francisco, Tokyo?
Yeah.
That's the opposite of what you should do.
Well, you got to go when the games are scheduled, Steve.
I know, I get it. You should go San Francisco, Hawaii, then Tokyo. You're halfway there.
I made a phone call and asked if you could switch the dates for my travel schedule.
So I go to SMU. I looked at a map. I had geography class earlier today, and this doesn't fit right.
But in all honesty, there were, from that team, the guys, I think there ended up being 4 guys who played in the NFL for some length. And that was it. We had a lot of good players, but a lot of them didn't make the NFL. So their last game was that bowl game.
Yeah.
Ever in their history. In their lifetime.
Yeah, never put a jersey on again. Nowadays, you have UFL you could fall into, but minimal guys fall into that. Canadian Football League, Indoor Football League, I guess you could say also. But very few guys fall into those levels as well. Going there. Dale, before you take off here and head over to Holmberg, hey, don't put him in a bad mood for me today, would you?
Oh, is that who you're having lunch?
I'm waiting for him to cancel. He'll probably cancel on me. He'll probably be like, oh, I forgot about it. Sorry.
What are you guys meeting about?
I don't know.
You can take my place on his show, so I have to do
with Lou? You have to do it with Lou? Yeah. See, we're going to talk sports with you, and I'll talk all about the Cowboys and my days with the Cowboys. No, just the production stuff and everything. He wants to get together on that. I mean, stuff like that. He's got dreams. He's got plans, and apparently he wants to talk to me about them.
Okay. Well, you're the dream maker.
I am. I'm the dream solver. I do a powdery substance on you and stuff like that. The only thing I'm nervous about, I'm not nervous because I don't, like I said, I know him. I've dealt with him. We produce your guys' sports podcasts and stuff like that. But the only thing is, man, he lets all of his personal stuff out on air.
I would not say anything you don't want to get out on air.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I jumped on him before. I said, hey, we're at a Suns game. That conversation's off limits.
There was one, I remember one distinctly, where you guys were at a sports bar, and you went to the bathroom, and he told the whole story.
Yeah.
And I remember what it was. Like, nothing bad on your part, but somebody else or something. And I was just like, that's something that if I was there, I wouldn't want that out.
No.
And he's just talking about it. That's the only thing where I'm like, all right, I got to be aware of this going on.
I was having lunch yesterday with Steve McCullum.
He won't even mention he was at lunch with me unless I do something stupid. Then he'll bring it up.
Don't spill something on him.
That's the only way you'll hear about it is that because he won't talk about it. He doesn't care about it. But unless I do something stupid, then you'll hear all about it to make time to make fun of me. But before you leave, I got to miss here. I got to do my tribute here to James Van Der Beek. Dale, do you know who James Van Der Beek is?
Is that a famous painter?
I don't want to wait for our lives to be over.
Oh, he's a singer?
No, he was an actor. He was in Dawson's Creek on the CW.
I-
You were too old for that.
I didn't see one episode.
You were too old for that. But most importantly, Varsity Blues, which I get all of my football knowledge from. Varsity Blues.
He shows I have not seen one episode.
You haven't seen Varsity Blues?
I have not.
We're watching Varsity Blues. Folks, we're going to have a day where we're just going to go dark and watch Varsity Blues.
You're going to invite me over? We can have
No, we're going to do it
snacks?
here. We're going to have cameras on, watching your reactions. Are you serious?
I've not seen
You've
one
never
episode.
seen the Tweeter End Zone Dance?
The tweeter?
Tweeter End Zone Dance. What do
No.
you guys want to see my new End Zone Dance? He does it. What do you call it? Tweeter End Zone Dance? That's his name. Oh, Mox is just full of inspirational. I don't want your life. Every kid says to their dad at some point in their lives. Kilmer. Oh, come on, Dale.
Did you also watch Dawson's Creek?
I did. I watched a lot of Dawson's Creek back in the day.
Now that's
I know. Well, it's funny because I texted Autumn that he died because she knows how much I love me some Beak, and I was like, man, I gotta watch Varsity Blues now, even though I haven't memorized. Oh, Ali Larder, who's now in Land Man. My goodness. But so I texted Autumn.
Oh, that girl?
Yeah, yeah, that's how that was her debut was Varsity Blues.
Oh, okay.
She did
I
a
might have
whip-
to go
she
back
did-
and watch
She
it.
did a whipped cream bikini, man. Yeah, trying to seduce him. Yeah, fantastic. Come on, Dale. Relive your high school days in South Texas.
Oh, God.
So I texted Autumn, and I was like, I guess I got to watch Varsity Blues because I can't watch Dawson Creek. That was depressing enough before I know he's not around anymore. So I got to give my tribute to James Van Der Beek.
I saw he died from cancer or something.
Yeah, colon cancer.
Yeah.
48 years old. He's my age.
That's a bummer. to hear.
Birthday's a few weeks. I knew this before, but before you got tested for colon stuff like at 50.
Right.
And they're saying now, especially if you're in a history in your family, they say start testing for that at like 45.
Yeah.
They're seeing an uptick in people my age getting colon cancer and dying. It'll kill you quickly and stuff like that. So on a serious note,
Yeah. That's a bummer.
it's an eye opener here, and it happens quick too, right? So, but yeah, it's like terrible. But just a blast from my childhood. You can make fun of it all you want.
So this weekend it's going to be
Varsity Blues weekend.
Daytona 500 and Dawson's Creek.
I don't know if I can handle Dawson's Creek today.
What is it?
My
Like an
mental
emotional one?
No, it's like a teen
Sitcom?
angst. No, teen angst kind of a show. Yeah, it's soap opera kind of a deal.
Was it like it was?
I
talking
couldn't
to you?
stand Pacey in that
Well,
show.
why was it
Drove me
like it was
nuts.
talking right to you?
It was, man. It was talking to 15-year-old Steven. It was. Life lessons, man.
Well, which girl came up to you in a cream cheese bikini?
No, that was Varsity Blues.
Oh, okay.
Cream cheese.
Oh,
Cool
you're
Whip
gonna
or
shake
whatever.
your head.
Cream. Don't come with me with cream cheese anything.
Oh,
I like cream cheese. Oh, did you know, on a side note, first of all, rest in peace, James Van Der Beek. I am going to miss you, buddy. My fave. Beeks, you're my man. But second of all, do you know I'm a big cinnamon roll guy? This is I'll leave Dale on here. I'm a big cinnamon roll guy. I had no idea they made cinnamon rolls with cream cheese.
Yes.
Wow. That sounds like the most disgusting. And I love cream cheese. I'll slap it on a bagel like nobody's business. You won't even see the bagel by the time I get done putting my cream cheese on the bagel. I found a bagel in my thing of cream cheese. That's what I often say. I love cream cheese in that aspect.
Yeah.
But not cinnamon rolls with cream cheese on it. And you know how I found this out?
In it.
Yeah, the dressing, the frosting.
Yeah.
No. I and people swear that you won't know the difference, but I'm disgusted by the thought of this. And now every time I go to the grocery store, I buy cinnamon rolls for breakfast at the house. Ireland loves them. I love them. And now I have to like stare at the box for 5 minutes on the freshly baked cinnamon rolls to make sure I get the vanilla frosting one, not the cream cheese one. Who came up with this idea, Dale? They should be banned from ever cooking ever again. Have you had them?
Yes, and they're delicious.
They cannot be delicious.
You sound like my dad when he was alive. My mom every Christmas made fudge, like
fresh fudge.
fresh fudge, a bunch of it, and then we had it for a month.
Yeah, and everybody got some.
Yes,
and you're like, hey, take this to your school, give it to your teacher.
And my dad ate fudge for years.
Yeah.
Years. He came home one day when she was making it, and he saw
what was in it.
He saw that she makes it with evaporated milk. I will not eat the fudge anymore if you make it with evaporated milk.
No, see, if I'm already eating it, and I notice it, I'd be like, all right. But like lasagna with cottage cheese in it. I will eat cottage cheese till the cows come home. I'll eat it straightly out of the container.
That's how you make lasagna.
No, you mean it with ricotta cheese. like adults do, Dale. Anything with if it has cottage cheese, I'm going to just throw up everywhere. Come on back, folks. I'll get you going until Luke comes in at 9 o'clock. I'm upset about this now. Now I'm more upset. Come on back, folks. See you later. We'll be back. Didn't get. I said this to Dale as he was leaving to go out the door here. Of course, he goes over to KUPD, does his radio hit over there with the boys on the morning sickness, and Lou comes in here on Thursdays. Lou will be here in just a little bit. No UFC this week. No NFL obviously anymore. So, Steve, what are you going to talk to Lou about? Well, we got hockey with the Olympic break up here. I know Lou's all into these Olympics, too, so we'll get his thoughts on that. We're just going to have a fun little conversation today, set the stage for college baseball season coming up as well. So it'll be a fun hour here with Lou coming up as well here at 9 o'clock. But Robert did tag me on this from Brett McMurphy 10 minutes ago. And it says SMU will play their games in Dallas Cowboys Stadium for the first time since the old Pony Express days when Dale was there as well. So there you go. Look at that. And that's a big stadium. How are they going to fill that out? No more Gerald R. Ford Stadium, huh? Are they renovating that, or is it just gone? Is the bigger question that I got there. Why are they leaving their regular stadium? I'm sorry. Their home games against Oklahoma and LSU are at AT&T Stadium. So they are still playing at Gerald R. Ford. Sorry, I should probably read the whole thing. Oklahoma in 27, LSU in 29. They're moving over to Texas Stadium. That will fill up for those two games coming up as well from that side. But it's fascinating when you move to that bigger venue. Obviously, they didn't play in that stadium back in the 80s because it wasn't around. We do have the 2026 World Baseball Classic U.S. broadcast schedule coming up, folks. I'm looking forward. We're going to talk with Lou about the WBC coming up as well. We're looking forward to this. He's all over Japan, of course, and this won it last time here, beat America last time. we have the broadcast schedule is out here for this. Let me see if I can. It's a small screen here. Let me see if I can. I can't pull it up right now on my screen here, but that is out. We'll get that reposted for everybody out there as well for what's coming up. So, in Olympic stuff here, as we talk about, we already told you Corbin Carroll's update. They say 6 to 8 weeks he's going to be out with that. I call it the ham bone injury because out there. But again, 3 other superstars got the same injury here to start the season, which is a weird bone to get broken all the time and happening a lot in baseball. So to the point where people are lamenting the ham bone. I joke around and call it the ham bone, but that injury is an interesting thing that keeps happening around Major League Baseball here in the preseason. How do you protect that bone? And has anybody ever heard of it being broken before? I know it has been, but all of a sudden now we're having this big run on it. Is an interesting thing to deal with, right? Mets shortstop Francisco Lindor and Jackson Holliday, Orioles second baseman. These are good players. Like, these aren't small players, of course, with Corbin Carroll. The Hammett bone is what it's really called out there. See, I keep calling it the ham bone to be funny, and I know it's not funny, but it makes me giggle. I keep calling it that. I forget that it's called the Hammett bone out there as well. So the reason why, interesting enough, why this injury happens is because of the knob of the bat at the bottom. Their hand's right on that. And it rests on that part of your hand, and that's where that bone is. That's how the injury happens, folks. Interesting. The things you find out through injuries in sports out there as well. Big day in hockey as I give you the Olympic update here that we're looking at. Men's hockey gets underway. It got underway yesterday, but it gets underway for the U.S. side here today as well. So in terms of the Thursday Olympic schedule to get you on the way, obviously, the United States men's team does play today as well. I believe let me just double check the time here. I believe it's 1:30 our time, but let me double check here really quick so I give you the right time because of all the changes and stuff like that. So Latvia, who they play, 3:10 Eastern, so 1:10 our time here coming up today. So men's hockey, the U.S. men's hockey gets in the way. It was fun watching Italy play yesterday. We'll talk more with Lou about this coming up here. But it was fun watching Italy play hockey yesterday because they have no NHL stars on that team whatsoever. And they scored their first goal. It was amazing. Of course, they gave up a goal almost immediately afterwards. But it was fun watching. I think they played Sweden, if I remember correctly. But, superstar team, NHL all-star team against a team with no NHL players on it there in Italy. It was kind of a fun, intrigue here going into that game and kind of watching it from that perspective out there. Alpine skiing, freestyle skiing, 9, by the way, medal events happening today in the Olympics. For those of you that like to play across that, men's snowboard cross finals. Actually, if it's not over yet, it's going on right now. You have the women's 5,000 meter speed skating, the luge team relay, which I don't understand. How do you have a team relay in luge? Like, in my mind, I'm like halfway down, you tag somebody and they start luging. Now you go to the bottom, and then they hit a thing, and then somebody else starts again. I don't know. The most non-relay sport you can have has a relay, folks, and that's luging out there. That's going on 10:30 a.m. our time here today in the Olympics. Short track skating, which is fun to watch, right? How many people possibly could lose fingers when they put them down on the ice? That's what I like to look for. The skeletons going today. Men's heat 1. Similar to luge, but skeletons happening out there. Snowboard, big today as well. But like I said, curling, men's curling, women's curling in terms of the groups is going for you curling fans like me out there. But like I said, lots of hockey today as that gets on board. So U.S. men versus Latvia at 1:10 p.m., as I told you. Then later on, you got Switzerland, France. That was actually earlier this morning, so that's over right now. I won't tell you who won that, so in case you want to watch it later. Finland, Canada is today is what is also on there. That's going on right now. That started at 6:30, so that's probably wrapping up as well. That's the women's, and then Czechia and Canada on the men's side, 8:40 a.m. So that's just facing off right now. Germany, Denmark on the men's side also plays today for that side as well. What'd you say, Lou? Switzerland? What?
A really excellent hockey game.
On the men's side.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. There you go, folks. I'm looking at a schedule, and it's not an easy schedule to decipher out there. But most importantly, men's hockey is underway. Chloe Kim goes for the three-peat there in the snowboarding, the half pipe and snowboarding and stuff like that. She's going to win most of the gold medals in her events there, and she does a lot of interesting things out there on the half pipe. It's fun to watch her perform that level as well. So there you go with your Olympic. What's on tap for today? Now, gold. In terms of the medals, it's we like to talk about it a little bit. Norway went up to 13. Interesting enough, for the first time ever in history, Norway has surpassed the all-time medals for the Winter Olympics. Norway has passed Switzerland officially now as of yesterday. An all-time between those two countries, which they battle about it, right? The Winter Games are their games. Norway has officially passed Switzerland for all-time most medals in the Winter Olympics. But Norway has 13 total, 7 gold, 2 silver, 4 bronze. Italy's second right now with 14, 5 gold, 2 silver, and 7 bronze. United States is up to third here with 12 total. Only 4 gold so far, but 6 silver, 2 bronze for the United States for that 12. Then Switzerland's after that. 4 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze for their 7. Then it goes France, Germany, Sweden. Austria has 9, mostly silver medals, though, so that's why they're ranked down a little bit here, for what they got. Japan, it has 9 as well, but they only have 5 bronze, 2 gold, 2 silver. And then the Netherlands, womp, womp. 1 gold, 2 silver for 3 golds. Netherlands, only 3 medals total. 7 golds, yes, 13.
Yes, sir. That's all we care about.
Well, Lou's talking about here. So you put money down. Don't lose Mike on it because this is interesting. You put money down on how many medals, gold medals, or just complete medals?
The market was the most gold medals.
Okay.
And I paid a minus 180 for Norway, meaning, and I never do that.
Yeah.
180.
Yeah, that's a big number.
So
for you
18
put
to win
some,
10.
Yeah.
And I took them. And I also took as a backup flyer Germany plus 450. Now
For gold.
Only the most gold medals. That's the only market in there. So because right now Italy is leading the total medal count.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at those every morning I get up. I'm looking to see what happened the night before to make sure my Norway keeps a little bit of a spread over the U.S.
They have a 2 gold medal lead right now. 7. Italy has 5 right behind them. From that perspective, that's interesting. I don't even think to bet that way. That's fascinating to me.
I had to do some research because Norway's such a small little country. But in reading past Winter Olympics, they just dominate those Nordic events.
The cross countries, all of those. They grow up with skis. That's how they go to school, Lou. Right? They throw on your skis and get to school.
They got this one where you ski 20 miles and you get down, you try and shoot at a target or something. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that one cracks me up because I'm like, what do they do? They're on their way to work and a bear shows up and they have to stop and shoot the bear and then keep going to work again. Like how does that even happen? But it is an amazing sport. But it's big for them over there as well. The U.S. will start picking up here as we get to speed skating and stuff like those events. We're gonna win a couple more gold medals on like the snowboard half pipe and stuff.
I think we got jobbed out of a gold medal last night. They gave that ice dancing to that French team.
That was a joke.
That didn't seem right to me.
I am a novice. I'm like UFC with that, Lou, where I look at it and I don't know what they're judging. I have no idea. But even I was like, even before I knew the result, I was like, oh, the U.S. got gold on this. That's such a better routine. Womp, womp. The French judge, they actually can break down the judges, which they should do this more in UFC stuff, to be honest with you. They broke down the judges on how they voted, and the French judge overwhelmingly voted for the French team. That put them over the top. Doesn't that seem a little skittish to you?
No, because them Frenchies, I'm not high on them.
I'm not saying.
Oops, there I go.
Saying
I let the lid off.
Sketchy because they allow that to happen. I'm not surprised the French did it, right? The judge was down there smoking a cigarette.
And really what hurt me the most was the Italians that got fourth.
Yeah.
I thought theirs was better than all of them. I like the Italians better than the United States.
I didn't see the Italians. There's actually the Sickos Committee on X. They do college football stuff, but they're actually tracking how many fourth place finishes countries have, which I'm fascinated. They call it the aluminum medal. And I think U.S. leads with 4 or 5 fourth place finishes on that. So they're actually
brutal.
tracking who finished. Because that's my question I asked. Like, if you're in that final game, and it's bronze or nothing, it's like, ooh, that's more stress than gold or silver, because at least you're getting a medal.
Agree.
And then you go bronze or nothing. You're going to be remembered as a bronze medalist or just failing at the Olympics.
Well, you still have the pride of competing in the Olympics, and you almost got a medal. I mean, I get all that. But, the three countries medal, and 20 don't. So it ain't easy.
Yeah, no. Most of and this is what cracks me up, people don't realize this, most of the athletes that are in the Olympics, most of them already know they're not going to compete for a medal. They're just there to compete in the Olympics and have fun and then go home.
Well,
They know they're not going to win a medal.
to many young people, representing their country is an honor and a great thing. And I wish I would have had the opportunity to do it. How do you not? And then there was the young skier. I think she got a gold or a silver, or it was a young man. The mom competed in skiing.
Yes.
They had all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
family members. I mean, these Olympics. I really dig the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
I see less summer than I do winter, because in the winter there's nothing else on. So-
I like the winter games way more than I like the summer
yeah,
games.
I may have to agree with that too.
And it's like track and field. Like, you're born to run that fast. Yes, you can increase that speed, but you're born to run that fast.
I do like 100 and 200 yard dashes.
No,
that 400,
It's fascinating
those
to
are
watch.
fun. Yeah,
But the winter here, it's like you have to work at this.
especially for people that live in Phoenix like us, Steve.
There are
we
Olympians
don't. We,
from Phoenix
I mean,
that are
yeah, we know
competing.
what hockey is, and but I mean, Alpine down,
Yeah.
those downhill, those guys are some bad hombres.
I put it out on Twitter the other day because I looked it up. We have curling leagues here, which curling's just you need a sheet of ice, right? You have
Curling
hockey
to
rink.
me is this.
Oh yeah, exactly. I love the curling event. But I think we have a speed skating, like Olympic speed skaters come from Phoenix. They come here to train. I think it was
Wow.
and I'm like, what? Of all the places to go, Phoenix, Arizona, to learn to train to go in the Olympics on speed skating. So it's fascinating. We'll get in more into that with Lou here when we come back as well. Of course, no UFC, no NFL, but plenty to talk about. College baseball is getting underway. Of course, the Olympic hockey as well. As I take you guys to break here, I just wanted to, if you want to do a long shot here on your betting right now, put some money out there. I don't necessarily recommend you do this. But yeah, Robert says, how big are the batons in luge relay? I know that's what I think too, right? You have to, and then you put your hand back there to do it. I think what they do is they run all the way down to the bottom. They hit something on the side when they get to the bottom, and then the next person goes. That sounds stupid, but hey, what do you know? I'm not a person there. But if you want to lose some money or put some money and have it wasted for a long time, odds to win the NFC West in 2026. Seahawks plus 150, Rams plus 160, excuse me. 49ers are plus 250. These are per DraftKings, from where I saw them at here. Cardinals, plus 4,000, folks. Just put $1 down on the Cardinals, just in case it happens. Come on back, folks. We'll check with Lou and see if that's a smart bet. And we're back here. Sorry, Lou, didn't mean to cut you off there. All excited about some gambling stuff out there. Of course, second hour main event Thursdays means this guy joins us. Not Dale Hellestree like it says on the screen. Uncle Lou joins us here as well. Gamblu.com. Follow him at Gamblu on X as well for behind the paywall, not the no longer behind the paywall updates that he gives you there on X as well. Lou, first of all, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here, talking with my hands hitting the mic. Wore a shirt that would show up against my
brick background.
It's required now in my contract.
Yes.
With Steve's show that I have a red brick
Well,
background.
I just don't like people go, why does Lou look transparent today?
Yeah, no, we need some contrast here. Everything is good. Life is good. The Super Bowl.
Yeah, how did you survive the
over.
Super Bowl?
I survived it well. It was great. We
Heads was the call.
Yes, it was. We had tails, loser. We had the game to final, the final score to be odd, loser.
Yeah.
But we had Seattle minus 7.5 winner plus money.
Yeah.
We had Seattle minus 8.5 better plus money 166 winner.
Plus 166 on that?
On the 8.5 plus 135 or so on the 7.5.
Either of those plus numbers are nice.
We had Seattle to have a special teams or defensive touchdown at 4-1. Now these were all half unit bets and way reduced.
Yeah.
This is, as we discussed.
It's not your normal $10,000 bet, Lou?
Well, no.
Just kidding.
But they were
to be clear, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
folks.
I don't bet. I've never made a $10,000 bet.
Just
But they
kidding,
were
folks.
recreational. They were fun. It was fun. We had great food. It's over.
Yeah.
Now focus absolutely shifts to everything else. World-based. If you look at the Gamblu webpage, I've got a bunch of futures on.
Yep, we'll show that here in just a second.
College
and
World
everything.
Series, World Baseball Classic, NHL hockey. We got to touch them all.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk a lot about that here today. But first, look, no Sneak Tea podcast this week. No Bout Business, obviously. No UFC this week.
Yep.
They don't want to be bashing people's brains in on Valentine's Day. They want to have a romantic night. A lot of hugging out. They could have just put a bunch of heavyweights in there or wrestlers in there to just hug it out all night long. But
So somebody tell Mrs. Gamblu.
I do have some questions on last week. It's just a couple of those fights. We'll get into that. But first, new year, you're changed some things up. Nothing's behind the paywall anymore. They go to Gamblu.com. So tell everybody about Gamblu.com, where they can find you and all that stuff, Lou.
Yes, I am a sports handicapper. I have, over the course of 50 years, gone from just liking to gamble and thinking it was neat to adopting business tenets and applying business strategies to gambling. And that's very easy for any Omaha person to understand, because when we grew up with Warren Buffett always offering advice in the local newspapers on investing. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to just listen to what Warren says and then mimic that.
He's done all right for himself.
I just took what he and Mr. Munger said and eventually began to apply it to sports gambling. And the tenets, the principles are simple. Be selective. When everybody's left, go right. When you buy something, hold it. Don't be in a hurry. Very simple stuff. So I come with a real business background. I'm a commercial realtor, and I try and address sports gambling as a business, meaning you heard for 2 weeks, oh, let's have some fun with this Super Bowl. What does that mean? Well, we're going to bet a 50-1 shot here.
Yeah.
Well, 50-1, 80-1, that might sound exciting, except for one thing. You ain't cashing those tickets, or you do so rarely. I'm not into trying to monetize some big, huge law. I'm trying to cash tickets and win money. And so with that in mind, I created a Gamblu.com webpage, and the webpage basically takes you through everything I do, from who I am, what my mission statement is, the sports I work, everything else. We have a nice blog this week about all the future bets I have now moving forward from football.
I got them all here. We'll talk a little bit about them
And
here
we
coming
will.
up. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
as-
That's what the blog's for. Yeah.
That's what the blog's for. As we scroll down, there's the Bout Business and Sneak Teep podcast. Now, I do a Sneak Teep podcast every Sunday. That's opening line report for the UFC. And then on Friday, our final results. You can access them at the Gamblu webpage, or you can access them wherever you get your podcasts. Now, Kobe's been kind enough to go back to the top of the screen where you see the bands there. Each week, Steve's really generous in allowing me a couple minutes to talk about the oldest mission in the United States, the San Xavier Del Bac mission, located south of Phoenix, just south of Tucson, Arizona here, erected in the 1690s is how old this is. These people are doing amazing work down there for the community. I'm a big proponent of it. I'm pro-Arizona. This is as pro-Arizona and as indigenous of Arizona as you can get. I've included a link on the webpage that you can tap and go straight to the San Xavier Del Bac mission page directly. We contribute regularly to them. We're proud to say we do, and we're proud to feature them, and we're even prouder that Steve lets us mention it.
Absolutely.
Every single week.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. Like you said, oldest mission at 1600s it was built. They're redoing it
That's
right now.
before I was born, even, Steve.
Imagine what Tucson looked like back in the 1652 or 1692, whenever it was. They're renovating it right now based off of some donations, and then they got some government grants. They do some schooling work down there as well. They have schools that they work with next door, stuff to that. So it is a good cause and help, of course, that there. And it's a nice little church to visit while you're down there. You can walk in as long as they shut it down if they have mass, but mass doesn't last too long. So you have to wait outside when that happens. But otherwise, you can just go roam through it and see the old stuff in there.
And on the weekends, they have like those little bazaars or fairs there
right
in the yard, and you
lot,
can get some of the best, first of all, the best Mexican food, the Sonoran-style Mexican food in the whole world's in Tucson. Phoenix don't do too bad, I'm just saying. But Tucson, I'm telling you, and this place, you just go from little table to little table, and it's people with their crock pots, and you're thinking, oh, I don't know, do I want to? Oh, yes, you do want to.
The lines are long. When we were there after our El Paso trip, our New Mexico trip, the lines were long for that stuff.
Yes, because the food is so doggone good.
Yeah, so glad we could support that and give a nod to them down there as well. And I'm a big architecture guy, and we tend to raise our old buildings here to build newer ones, and that one's still standing down there, and it's on the Indian tribes' land as well, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yep.
They'll protect it down there as well. But so that's all happening. You survived the Super Bowl. You survived your cooking and everything.
Yeah, I went to a local grocery store here and got a beef tenderloin. Had them, strip all the silver whatever you call it off of there.
I call it the tinfoil, but I know what you mean.
And we cooked it out over an open fire. And I had one little piece that I cooked too much because I have a son that likes meat. I hate to even admit this, like medium. And you take a.
You're insulted that it's medium.
I'm insulted by it, but I make it how he wants it. But I also had the bigger half over here. My mom was here. My mother-in-law was here. My wife and me, and we eat medium rare meat, and I had that cooked perfectly. I'm telling you, we had some nice hard crust bread and a little bit of creamy horseradish. Holy moly, it was good, and we really enjoyed the whole Super Bowl. The ladies, of course, were all over the commercials. They wanted the commercials, and then of course at halftime. There's two shows. We don't have to get into that because
Did you switch?
We did. They watched.
I watched them both. So
they watched the Kid Rock halftime. Yeah. I was in the office.
Yeah,
looking at investments.
I go and cook dinner during halftime. So that's what I did.
It's 35 minutes. You got a whole.
But I went back and watched them both because I was curious on it. I just don't understand the Bad Bunny music. Obviously, I'm not his person to go to. I don't understand the language and stuff. But even the Kid Rock one I found very dull and kind of stale. They recorded that like a few days earlier, and things like that.
I like Kid Rock. He's entertaining. The other stuff seemed real country western to me. That's the one kind of music that I'm still trying to learn how.
Oh, you don't? Oh, really?
Yeah. Now don't get me wrong. I've been to Dwight Yoakam concerts.
So you're going old. No, if you grew up, that's the problem. If you grew up in that country era, you struggle with today's country.
Well, I just struggle with country. Yeah. Listen, my first concert ever was Johnny Cash. So that
doesn't
was
get much better
that was
than
my
that
first
one.
impression.
Yeah.
So Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline.
all-
Who's the young kid?
All downhill from there, Lou.
Who's the young kid that used to do the Monday Night Football? Hank Williams
Hank
Jr.
Williams Jr., yeah.
Now see, I like Hank Williams Jr. because he wears a cowboy hat,
Outlaw
but that
country.
dude is like Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah,
he can't help himself. He's a rock and roller,
Yeah.
but he wears a cowboy hat. So I
his
can
dad, yeah.
I can embrace some of it. But for me, Steve, if I want to listen to blues, I'm listening to Muddy Waters or Buddy Guy. I don't.
You going that route?
I listen to
We got to train you, Lou.
the Brothers Blues, not the white
Well,
man blues.
I listen to all sorts of music and everything, and I pride myself on that. But I mean, I go old school country. I can go 90s country is my all-time favorite. And then today's country, though, it's just hit or miss, man. It's just
I couldn't even name an artist, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was the problem with that. That's what I thought was. That's what I meant by stale with that alternate one was I was like, yeah, and then Kid Rock only did one song, and
I
what are we
think that
doing,
sentiment
man?
at our house was that we would have watched paint dry instead of the other.
Well, we're
I
not
hate
we're
to
not
be
the market
political.
on it. I know people are like, "Arr," but and if they have that attitude and don't understand why we wouldn't be into the Bad Bunny halftime show, then I can't help you.
I just
Because it's not our
I just
genre.
don't get it. Don't get me wrong. We live in Phoenix, Arizona. We're in Sonora. We're in the old Azteca area.
But Puerto
So
Rican is a different.
it's a little
language than
dialect.
Spanish,
A little different. Now, that said, I've never been to Miami. And doggone it, would I like to go to Miami? I'd love to check
That's the
that
Cuban
culture.
side down there,
I'd love
yeah.
to try my language. I speak some Spanish, but it's Mexican Spanish. So I'd love to try that dialect there and see what.
Yeah, I have a friend that speaks fluent. He grew up. He's Mexican, and he grew up, speaking, Spanish.
It's a different
and all.
dialect.
And even he was like, I struggled with that
Yeah,
parts and stuff. Yeah.
And then the last thing, what I'd love to go to Miami for, the food, because I'm all about Cuban food and those sandwiches and any kind of cultural cuisine. I love.
And they infuse it into like American stuff and everything.
Whatever,
so it's even better when they do
whatever
that,
they
yeah.
do, I'd be all about it.
My Super Bowl dinner. Milou?
Yes, what was that?
We went all out.
In and out.
Noodle. Might be worse. Noodles, freshly grated cheese, and hamburgers. Macaroni and cheese and hamburgers. That was the deal.
Hey, you know what? The Super Bowl, first of all, who wants to be slaving over? I was stressing over my meat out there on that fire.
And that's the thing. I was like, I can go grill. I can do all that. And I'm like, I want to watch the game.
Right.
Cook at halftime. Be back in time for the second half.
Right.
Type of deal. No, we went simple. But we had vegetable trays and stuff like that.
But let me just say something.
Full, so.
A well-done mac and cheese is hard to beat.
I make a good one, Lou. Not to toot my own horn.
I bet.
I can make a good one.
Now,
the big noodles, and you grate the cheese up, and it's all soft.
Do you have any crispy in there? Is there anything?
Put it in the oven. Put it in the oven.
To
brown the
give a little.
top.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, baby.
Yeah, brown the top. You know what that's about? I don't do leftovers, but I will eat leftover macaroni and cheese.
Uh-huh.
And I
You don't do leftovers.
I don't do leftovers at all. And I love that crunch afterwards the next day.
Yeah.
Cold.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Lou, I'm getting hungry over
Me
here.
too. Jeez,
Yeah. We went simple, but
we're gonna take a quick break and go down the street and get a
Exactly.
sandwich.
So we went simple, but but yeah, that's the thing. Normally I usually go to the Waste Management Open on Sunday, and we decided to pass it this year. You didn't want to go out there and walk around with my leg conditions and stuff like that. So we skipped it. So we went to the movies and relaxed a little bit. So gives a little bit more time and relax. But normally I go to the Waste Management Open, and then I'll order like Outback or something on the way home. A steak, pick it up, drive it home, eat it at home, and watch the beginning of the game type of a deal.
What a great day that is!
Yeah.
Waste Man, and the tournament was great, leading right into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the playoff at the
I
end.
used to
there.
always go to the Sunday, but anymore the Sunday Waste Management. I used to go because all the college kids have had 4 nights of the Bird's Nest and drunk, and they're not waking up at 7 to go watch golf.
Busy now. They're all there.
But you're right. Now it's busy on Sunday, and
last
so
couple
Uncle Louie
years.
don't go no more.
Yeah, record crowds on Sunday these last couple
Crazy.
of years and stuff
Crazy.
like that. So Robert says, Hank Jr., the young kid? Because you called him a
Yes.
young kid.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
compared
yeah.
to his
Well,
dad.
yes,
but he
Robert,
goes, dude's a
compared to
decade old.
me.
Robert says, dude's a decade older than me.
Well, sorry, Robert. I got
Robert's
a
your
few.
age.
I got a few treads on this tire, Robert.
That just cracks me up. Well, I refer to him as a young guy too, but that's just because his dad, obviously.
Freaking Robert, don't miss a beat.
You knew his
this
dad.
guy.
No, he catches everything.
He is. He's here to catch us if we're snoozing.
Really quick, I know you had some money down on the Waste Management Open for some top 5 finishes there. How'd you end up there?
I did, and I sucked the exhaust pipe. I had
Now,
I had
you
three
go through-
players.
You go through golfer handicapping people. It's not you sitting down, right? You talk to.
I go
talk to
through my
friends
buddies,
stuff
and,
like
and then
that,
he
yeah.
calls me. He texts me. Oh, hey Lou, I'm sorry because the one kid Lee Li I had day 1 he was right there. Day 2 he had like 7 straight bogeys
Yeah,
and he
fell
missed the
apart.
cut.
Yeah.
And my buddy felt all bad. I'm like, hey, I'm a big boy, man. I asked you, and it's on me.
Yeah.
So I blow Lee. I blow Keith Mitchell. I blow another kid. An Australian that I really felt good would be in the top 20. He ended up like 25. And so all 3 of my top 25, my top 20 guys failed. And
Yeah.
so, and which is why in sports other than what I work, I go easy. I have fun. It was a great
Yeah,
tournament to
it
watch.
was, yeah.
I will say this, right before the extra hole playoff, I took the kid that won at
Got her?
minus 107 or something.
Is that all he was?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nice.
because I thought Hideki, first of all,
He struggled all day.
well, right, and that blow up on 18 had to affect his mind. Meanwhile, as soon as we saw that, if you're watching the tournament, what was the other kid's name he played?
Got her.
Goddard.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as Goddard saw Hideki hit that drive, he got her up.
Yeah.
He started getting clubs in his hands.
Yeah.
He knew he was in a playoff.
Yeah, it was a fun tournament, like always around here. It was nice to see the turnout, and we'll see what the charity numbers are.
The weather was
coming up
great.
as well, right? I had one person that was out there that was like, "Oh my god!" He goes, "I've never remembered being that hot out there." Mid 80s, but you're out there, the sun's just
And you're
beating down
walking,
on
and
you,
if you're
walking,
not, and you could see as you were watching, a lot of people were standing under the shade.
Yeah, that's
because it believe me, if you're walking around in a golf tournament and it's Phoenix and it's 80, 82,
Yeah.
and the sun's hitting you, you're sweating.
So I have a question. Let's get this out of the way here before we get into World Baseball Classic, hockey, and stuff like that. No UFC this week, as I said.
Yep.
They come back here on the 21st. They're going to be in Houston, Texas, coming
Texas.
up. Strickland and Hernandez fighting
Yeah.
in this one.
3 Texans on that card. Who
Really?
are they? We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, exactly, right? Strickland's main line is Sean Strickland. I like him a lot against Anthony Hernandez, who I don't know as well. So we'll get that info next week. But my question, there's a couple other big fighter names on here I'm curious about as well. But last week, Apex fight.
Yes, sir.
There. I found it fast. They allowed crowds in there now. They revamped it, and they have a limited crowd in there now.
Yes, from no crowd, they've gone to limited. Exactly.
I was shocked because there was a couple fights where the crowd turned on the fighters. And that's a small environment. And it was very noticeable on the broadcast that the crowd was not happy with the way some of these guys were fighting and stuff like that. Is that kind of a good thing or bad thing for the Apex fights?
Well, first of all, I think it's something that's going to happen in the UFC fights, no matter where they're held.
Yeah.
And the fact that the UFC now has upped their bonuses, they are encouraging violence and striking and quivering knockouts. It's dumbing down the population that watches the UFC, and so no longer for a guy like me to see Davalishvili fight Umar Nurmagomedov, bantamweights, both grapplers, wrestlers, to see the skillful grappling that each of those would put on one another would be a fascinating fight for me to watch. They did fight once, I think. They fought once, yes. Yet that's not what the UFC wants. They want blood and guts, and so that's dumbing down the crowd, if you will, excuse the expression. The crowd just wants action, and we're starting to see that manifest itself.
Yeah.
In
I was just
these
fascinated
fights.
because in a big arena, people will boo and chant again. But again, it kind of gets drowned out a little bit. I mean, this was people
Oh, yeah.
right next to the cage telling fighters they're sucking. And I was like, wow, that's that's impressive. That's happening. Where they
Yeah, I
can
don't
hear
think
it,
that
so.
buying a ticket allows you to.
Well, they were
hurl-
being. I don't know if they were singing it, but they were booing.
Yes,
They were
exactly.
saying, "Start fighting."
Yeah, no, set
break
them
it
up,
up,
stand them up, stand
break
them
them up with
yeah,
that for
right.
the two heavyweights who were just standing against the fence line there.
Yeah, and that was
and
Jailton.
stuff like that. You know.
Jailton's been cut now.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I see that now, but you
I
going into
had
it kind of
Jailton.
question him, yeah. And how disappointed were you in that?
You know what? I was disappointed because I made the wrong pick on a guy that showed that lethargy in the fight prior.
He didn't look like he wanted to be there.
He's too undersized. And so he announced after the fight he's going back down to 205, which is great except for one thing. No one at 205 going to fight this monster.
He's a big cut dude.
And the UFC said, "Well, thank you very much, but we'll make it even easier for you. You're cut. Now he's gone and he's out." So
Yeah.
they don't want. He's 34, 35-year-old
Yeah.
guy who's a tweener weight class.
Well, you even said it last week when you look at him for that heavyweight division. You look at him and you go, "That guy's cut. That guy looks like he's a fighter, and he's everything but that."
He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist, and so almost the last thing that comes fluently to a BJJ fighter is striking, kicking, and violence. Now, many of them complement their BJJ with Muay Thai, which is a Thai form of striking, kicking. But if you don't come complete with that and you're just BJJ, the evolution to learning striking is such that you're probably not going to make it in the UFC very long in today's UFC.
Now, the way that Jailton fought, does it change your opinion on Kuniev at all with the way he fought?
No, Kunyev has it. I like him. I've seen 2 fights now, and he wants the fight back with Curtis Blades that he lost, arguably didn't lose, but it was a close split decision. He called out him or he called out Salzaboy, Waldo Cortez Acosta. So we're going to see more of Kuniev. The heavyweight division is in dire straits right now because there's no real flash outside of Aspinall, who's just had 2 eye surgeries.
Yeah,
so
he's going to be out for a while.
We need some light heavyweight and heavyweight action.
The heavyweight guys, though, they got to get into better shape. I get it; they're bigger dudes, but man, even Kuniev came into that ring just a little bit on the heavy side. You know, it looks like they're not in shape. And,
266.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, that's judging a book. You know, we saw that last week with the 2 guys where they just ran out of juice, and at the end, they're both just on the court and on the floor, just gasping for air and stuff like that. And I go back to the heavyweight days. I know I'm going to go boxing, but Mike Tyson and just big, solid, cut guys going into these fights and everything. And we're seeing the opposite right now in the UFC.
I would tell you, don't judge the fighter by the cover because you can't. You get some guys that look like roly-poly-oly can really fight.
They can knock out.
And then you get a guy like Almeida that looks chiseled out of marble that doesn't want it.
I'll just say that. You shouldn't look like me when you're walking in the ring. That's all I'm going to say.
Or me.
Michael O was the fight before that against Baralt in that fight. Ended up being a Michael O decision, unanimous decision in that fight. Change your opinion on him at all for that fight, going to the distance?
No, changed my opinion on Barrio, the Canadian, who was just tough and durable. And Michael O said after the fight, "Holy cow, I hit that guy with everything."
Seriously.
Michael O got some power. Yeah. Barrio has some durability. I probably underestimated Barrio.
He ate those punches, man. Yeah. I thought that fight would be over earlier, to be honest with you.
Me too.
He just stayed in there. He just stayed in there and stayed in there.
He wouldn't go.
Okay, so you changed your opinion a little bit on him, at least for future fights coming up. The main events, the one Albazi,
That's
loses
the co-main event.
Yeah, loses his fight there, unanimous decision to Horiguchi in that fight. I really liked the Japanese fighter and the way he fought in that ring. Was it more him or was it more Albazi in that fight that kind of made it look that way?
Albazi has been madly inactive coming off injuries and such, and he did his best. The difficulty is Horiguchi's a world-class mixed martial artist.
He was everywhere in that
ring. And he's going
to
be fighting for the title here soon. More than likely, they'll give him Josh Van, and then the winner of that will give a shot to
that would
Pantoja,
be a fun fight.
The old champ who's coming off injury.
He was just active. He was, he picked his points. He would go in and get hit and still be able to connect his punches. I was really impressed with him as not remember seeing him before. there for that win on that unanimous decision. I was really impressed with him.
Yes, and he was aggressive, active.
Yes.
So he was trying. You could tell that's a fight you want to see. A guy that's going forward.
Hey,
He's trying to win the fight.
Him and Van will be fun because
Should
they're
be fun.
they're both that style of fighting. So that was a pleasant
Isn't that-
surprise
Steve's
from
got
that side.
it.
I know. Look at me. Mario Bautista against Oliveira here in this fight. Obviously, Bautista, local kid,
Yes.
up there at MMA Lab as well, gets the
Yes.
win. Submission in the second round, 446 of that. Probably could have been called a little bit earlier on that. You're obviously like Bautista. You've talked highly about him a lot. Impressive victory for him.
Unbelievably impressive victory for him. Here's a guy that was rushed too quick in to get him. And Bautista, when we bet him earlier in a two-team parlay the week before with another fighter, he was minus
TNF,
200.
whatever, yeah.
When that fight went down, you could get him at minus 150. It was a total mistake. We bumped up another bet on him because of it. This was a classic mismatch. The young Brazilian Vinicius is just a bully, and whoever is going to be enamored with his flapping, because all he did was flap before this fight. He can intimidate. But Bautista is a world-class fighter with 14 UFC fights. He's fought Corey Sandhagen. He's fought Umar Nurmagomedov. He's fought world-class fighters, and Vinicius had 4 UFC fights, stepping up in talent in each fight, but he nowhere near the quality of opponent. And so this was a mismatch from the beginning. You saw it play out there. And not only that, Vinicius, as soon as Bautista got the choke in, he's tapping.
That was the
he
end
wanted
game.
out. He knew he was beat. And also, Vinicius won't be at 135 much longer. He'll go to 145.
Okay,
He's
so
a big kid growing.
Yeah. That was the thing. Bautista, that's what I meant. It probably could have been over earlier. Bautista, I don't know if he was toying with him or couldn't do it, but you could tell what was coming pretty quickly there
It
for
was-
about a minute and a half before
It
it
was
actually
coming,
happened.
and I'm so proud of the MMA Lab.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of the young man Mario Bautista, who fought great. His call out of Corey Sandhagen was appropriate because in Mario's first UFC fight, they put him in against Sandhagen. And that's 5 years ago. And Sandhagen's a top 5 player then, still top 5 player. But that fight needs to happen because Mario will get that win back. And I'm tickled for the gym. I'm tickled for Mario. I'm tickled for me.
Yeah, it was a
'Cause we won
fantastic
money
fight.
on
I
it.
was impressed with him because I've seen him fight before, and I don't remember walking away. I'm not saying he's bad, but I walked away really impressed with the way he fought in that ring on Saturday night, more so than I did remember doing so in other fights for him as well. So it's almost like he's improved. That's where I struggle. Did he look so good because of his competition, or has he improved that much since last time we saw him?
Well, you have to also understand his last fight was against the guy that's going to be the champion by the end of the year, Umar Nurmagomedov,
Yeah.
and so he fought Umar Nurmagomedov, and by that I mean he went out and tried to win the fight instead of just survive, like most of Umar's competition does, and he got beat. And he said in the post fight interview, I didn't like being in the bottom, and so you could see in one roll, Vinicius took Mario down, and Mario bounced up with his shoulder blades and did like a corkscrew and got on top. And at that point, right there, I knew this fight's over right there.
Yeah, it was exciting watching, especially knowing he's a local kid. You kind of root for him a little bit more.
Excuse the interruption.
Yep,
He's a
you're good.
quiet man, and now he did talk
does.
a little in the interview, but he's not the guy that me, flap, 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 and that's what the UFC wants, and that's what sells. Mario's not really wired that way. He lets his fighting do his speaking, and as long as he keeps fighting like that, he can be speaking loud.
There was some more weigh-in problems, at least one that I remember.
Boy.
And then isn't it the greatest feeling in the world when the guy that tries to cheat the weigh-in system then gets his butt kicked? Isn't
With
it
1
amazing?
second left via submission.
yeah. We're talking about Will
talk about
Wilk
putting a
Black's
cherry on the top of
Yeah.
a sundae.
Yeah, 1 second literally is when they did it. It's just Is it just that I know there's guardrails and stuff that if you don't get rate, you have to pay, you get less of a purse, stuff to that. But do they have to come down harder on these guys?
Yeah, that's really my position, is more deterrent. I think there should be more deterrent. Listen, you get at 100, and these guys fought at 145. So no, 135. They were bantams, and he came in at 141.
Yeah.
10 minutes after the weigh-in started, he's just waving a flag. I'm cheating.
Yeah, that's just
I'd
not
be
even
happy to give away 25% of my purse as an investment to hold advantage over this fight because it's so important for me to win. That's all they're doing when they do this. Now, there were also 2 gals in the same fight that missed weight, but when did they come on the scale? With 10 minutes left in the weigh-ins. That's a different thing.
They were trying to.
There you go. Thank you. That's exactly right. They're trying to cut the weight.
That's my
They
point.
can't get it done.
There's a difference of not being able to cut the weight, but you're trying your butt off to get there, and you're trying as hard as you can. There's a difference between that and, like you said, obviously not trying.
There is. And so the deterrent for me is the same. You miss by, first of all, if you're at 135, you get to 136. Now, if you come in and you miss by 1 pound, so you're 137, you lose 1.5 points in the first round. Boom. So you're basically going to lose the first round. There's teeth in that, let me tell you. You poke a guy in the eye in the fight the first time you do it, you lose 1.5 points in that round. You kick a guy between his legs, you lose a point like that right in the first round.
We're seeing that a lot so far this year, too, for some
because
reason.
if you put Uncle Louie teeth in I guarantee all this stuff going to dry up. Now, you may get a groin kick once in a while.
Yeah, it happens.
Because it can happen.
I mean, Lou, it happens, that's all I can say.
Yeah, but if it happens, you're getting docked 1.5 points. So that's how that's going to work.
These are world-class athletes. They can control their kicks. They know where they're going towards. The other guy moves a certain way. It's controllable. Now, accidents happen. I get it, but you can tell when they're not accidents.
I think I agree with that, and I also think there should be more deterrent. And will we get it? I don't know.
Yeah, I've just gotten annoyed with the weigh-ins where they're not even trying.
Yes, it's just blatant, all-out cheating. I'll give away part of my purse to hold advantage.
Well, they should have somebody like just sitting on the side that can step in if you're 7 pounds overweight. When you
Oftentimes, as you get into the higher-ranked athletes, they know the night before if they're having trouble, so they'll go to they'll tell the UFC and they'll go to the other camp and they'll try and take away the advantage so that I'm not coming in 5 pounds heavy and this guy had to go through a terrible cut to make the fight.
Well, that would be the thing, right? So, hey, I just can't. I'm 5 pounds over. I cannot drop this. We've done this. We've done this, and they can prove they've done stuff. You go to the other guy, and that other guy goes, all right, well, I need to stop cutting weight then.
Yeah, so
I'll go in. I'm 3 pounds heavy. I'm not going to cut that extra 3 for tomorrow. And then that way it makes it more fair. I think that would be a good compromise.
They agree to a catch weight fight, and that's how a professional handles it. And occasionally you'll see that happen, but it's only with the world class higher end fighters.
A lot more money on the line at that,
Yeah,
right? Like these guys are trying to survive in the UFC, right? This was a big fight for what was his name? Gufarov?
Muin Gafarov.
Yeah, it was a big fight for him. So he was just trying to stay alive and that type of stuff. That's where you get into that, where it's kind of gets unfair.
And we had Wickless in that fight.
I put money on him last Thursday because of you. So it was nice to see that come through.
Yes.
It was, yeah. So hey, when we come back, let's get into World Baseball Classic talk. Of course, hockey talk as the Olympics men's get underway here in just a couple hours. Over in Italy, the whole men's tournament is fully underway today. Yesterday, a couple games out there as well. We'll talk about that coming up. We do have the World Baseball Classic broadcast schedule out there. We'll get that retweeted out there for everybody coming up as well. So all that and more, including you do have some futures on Major League Baseball, UFC future waivers on your blog as well. NHL to Win Conference. One of them kind of strikes me as interesting. We'll talk about it. Come on back. The main event with Uncle Lou. Welcome back here to the main events. Of course, Thursdays, 9 o'clock. Uncle Lou, no UFC this week. We just look back at last week here because some of those fights were big ones. Wanted to get his overall thoughts, and I just mentally put those in my head. So next time we see those fighters, we can kind of remember what the thoughts are going into those fights as well. And, of course, he does other stuff, World Baseball Classic, Hardball on his blog. Go to Gamblu.com. Follow him on Twitter, folks, at Gamblu. He puts stuff on there as well. What he normally used to put behind the paywall now goes out there as well, and you get it pretty quickly, Lou. So let's just start here. Well, first of all, since we just talked UFC, you do have 3 UFC futures on this as well. You've talked about Umar Nurmagomedov's final 2026, being the champion at the end of this year, that bet out there. You have it on here, plus 300. Is that what you put it at, or is that what it lines at now?
That's what I released it at with my clients last year in 2025. So that wager lives on now. If you look at DraftKings today to get that, it's plus 250. So you're getting a little bit less of a price. And then the other two are.
That's still a nice price, though.
It is still a nice price because he's going to get to fight for the belt in the fall. And when he does, I don't care who it's against, he's going to win. Then I've got a lightweight champion, Arman Tsarukyan. That's a little of a flyer. He's going to need to have some things drop correctly, but I think that will happen because Gaethje and Topuria are probably going to go on the White House card, and then Tsarukyan will be in line for Topuria. And Topuria and Tsarukyan are very similar fighters in that they're both sons of wealthy men, and they don't need to fight. They fight for pride, and it's unusual that you get guys that are not from impoverished backgrounds and that are silver spooners that are this good. But Topuria wants nothing to do with Tsarukyan, and Tsarukyan just wants to fight Topuria, and that's why we took Tsarukyan. Then,
but you said even though it's a flyer, you did say 1 unit on that, one full unit.
I used a unit on it, and we used a unit on Weili Zhang, women's flyweight champ. She used to be the flyweight champ. She went up in weight class to try her hand against Shevchenko, and for her trouble, she got mopped all over the floor by Valentina. So now she's running back down to flyweight. She wants a shot at Mackenzie Dern, who used to fight here at the MMA lab, now fights out of California. I believe she beats Ms. Dern. When that fight goes down, Zhang will probably be a pick'em or maybe just a slight favorite. And by taking her now to win the championship, we're getting plus 155. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So some futures there if you're interested in that. But also, even if you're not a gambler, right? When you talk to your friends at work or whatnot, and they bring up UFC stuff, a little bit of knowledge for you to throw out there to them on kind of what you think as well. Obviously, Major League Baseball is getting underway right now. Spring training, we've already seen some injuries. I call it the ham bone injury. Just to have fun with that name.
I never even heard of that, whatever that is.
And all of a sudden now you got 3 star players getting that.
Where is it?
And it's in your hand. And from what I was reading yesterday, it's literally a bone, like right here.
Uh-huh.
And when I was reading yesterday, it happens. So reportedly, Corbin hit a home run ball, and he's like, my hand hurts. So they went and x-rayed it and saw that he broke that. That's where the knob of the bat is right at. So when they hit something, the knob of the bat, if it hits it right, will break it.
The knob of the bat is down here.
Yeah, but I guess when you swing, if your hand moves down on it and then you connect with the ball and it moves a little bit, it's just this little tiny bone in there. But
these baseball players, a bunch of
3 hitters have that injury this year.
I'm just kidding.
Off of it. It makes sense, but yeah, don't grab the knob of your bat right there.
I'm fortunate enough to be on the VSiN by the Books program with Dave Ross and Jensen Lewis. Jensen Lewis, a world-class pitcher for Cleveland, pitched here for a short time.
Was he here?
He was here for a short time, and he explained the injury as not being anything overly severe, but something you're just going to have to deal with.
Well, from what I read, 6 to 8 weeks out, a surgery, 6 to 8 weeks out, which isn't the end of the world. But what I read is you don't get power back in your bat for a long time, 6 to 8 months before you get power back, which is interesting. That's the byproduct of it. So it's not a big injury. It's happening in spring training, so they're going to miss spring training, maybe the first week of the season or something like that. So it's not the end of the world. But it is concerning if you don't. For Francisco Lindor, he needs power. Jackson Holiday needs power. and we're relying on Corbin Carroll's power as well. So it'll be interesting to see if that does hold true going forward. But I mean, this is kind of a thing in your futures that you have here. Obviously, everybody has the Dodgers winning the World Series, or at least getting to the World Series with all their talent and stuff. And you have the Dodgers plus 230 there. Now you got that, found that at Circa there.
Yes.
You said 2 units on that. Major League Baseball is a sport. These last 2 years, differently. But Major League Baseball is a sport where the best team doesn't always win the World Series. Last 2 years, that's been the case. They're going for 3 in a row now on that.
Well, wait a minute.
side,
Are you telling me the Dodgers weren't the best team in baseball the last couple?
No, that's
of
what I'm
years?
saying. Last couple of years, the best team has won it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
before that, you didn't always.
I mean, there's
the best team didn't always
first,
win it.
the rules are the rules. They get to buy the talent. They've got talent coming out of their every orifice. The Dodgers do. Why would I? I mean, especially at 230. Why wouldn't I take a little shot?
I'm surprised the odds are plus 230 is more of my point.
I don't think they will be for long.
That was more of my point here.
Yeah.
If you like that, that's a bet you probably should jump on and talk about, because plus 230 for a team that on all papers and everything is destined to win this World Series this year. So that's what kind of caught my eye from that perspective. But we have the World Baseball Classic coming up. Lou, I know you're big on Japan. You've talked about Japan here a lot. They won it last time. They have some big name guys on that team. Some of them aren't pitching. Some of them aren't hitting. But they're still going to be part of the Japan team there, the big name guys out there. Japan is plus 320 odds here for the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, because the
defending.
United States is the big chalk, and then behind, United States has Puerto Rico in their bracket side, and the Japan has the Dominican. And you shouldn't underestimate the Dominicans at plus 450. I choose Japan for a couple reasons. First of all, one of the quadrants, they'll end up playing in Miami, but they host the games in Japan. Japan is a baseball culture. They're crazy about it. It's a form of national pride. This is a team that never stops practicing, and even with Ohtani and some of the American baseball players get there to interface and practice with the team. And so what I feel like I'm capturing when I capture Japan is a team that's going to make it to the Final Four for sure. It's their culture. They hustle. They want to win it. The players love the pride of the event. The country gets behind it. And really, for the last 8-10 years that they've had this event every 2 years, Japan's been an easy ticket for me, and I'm going to keep riding them until something else happens. But when they get to the Dominicans, I'm telling you right now, a Dominican Republic Japan game or a Venezuela Japan or a Venezuela Dominican, that's going to be great baseball to watch. I'm just saying, and that's coming up here in a month.
They just released the broadcast schedule here. It's kind of tiny, so I have to cheat here with my old eyes and everything. March 6th is the first game,
Beautiful.
coming up as well. Noon and 7 p.m. it looks like, and that's Eastern. That's Eastern time. So noon and 7 p.m. will be when the games go off.
That's just going to be so much fun to watch and understand that. That's going to go on kind of during spring training and baseball season. That'll interrupt some of the major league teams' players that go to that thing.
Absolutely. And, the World Baseball, they got to figure it out, because some teams, if you're over, I think it's if you're over 35, you can't get insurance to go to the World Baseball Classic. And then some teams are denying their players to go play in it. Some teams are doing the right things, like the Diamondbacks. Carlos Santana, he can't get insurance, and Diamondbacks were like, still go play. He's part of that Dominican team. So, so it's weird how they're handling it, but they got to figure that side out as they move forward. But that is something nice about spring training as well. These world teams will be playing spring training warm-up games here against like the Dodgers or the Angels or whatever, leading up to the World Baseball Classic. So a little bit of a twist here this year.
Good, clean fun. They did it 2 years ago too, and it's great to see.
Yeah, so but you like Japan in that one? I mean, the U.S. is the overwhelming favorites on that. I don't know.
And that's easy to understand because of the depth of all the talent that we'll have. However, they don't stress and worry about it and work on it for 2 straight years in between each tournament like Japan does. And so the team that's a team, as opposed to a team that's an all-star team banded together, is the reason I'm using Japan.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. And I want to see how If there's a team that's going to use their pitchers in a way to protect them, it'll be the United States team, which I believe could get you in a little bit of trouble. Does that make sense?
Well, a lot of money.
Guys that might only pitch an inning, which could lead to trouble down the line type of stuff, as they're protecting the U.S. pitchers here for the baseball season.
Or they're
Something I'm thinking
Or
about.
they're going to decide their competitive juices are flowing, they want to win, and they use a pitcher an inning or two too much,
Yeah, the
which is
opposite.
equally concerning.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting because I mean all the other countries are like, let's go win this thing.
That's right.
And I could see the U.S. going, I've got a Major League Baseball season I got to worry about, and it could affect you from that perspective. So that's kind of what worries me on the U.S. side. That we got to look at for that. But you're obviously big into this. You're looking forward to watching it. I imagine you're going to be watching every game and sitting down and catching it.
Yeah, because really, I'm looking at hockey right now, but it's regular hockey's playoffs don't start till the World Baseball Classic's almost over.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to study my hockey while I invest in World Baseball Classic.
Since we're talking baseball, NCAA, obviously college baseball is getting underway right now as well as that season's going. You always tell us, and we talk it as well, you always tell us SEC, 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 SEC. But then I see your futures here, and you've got a UCLA bet on here. Now, explain to me what these bets are. Just to make the College World Series?
No, these
to make
are
the
to win.
regionals?
This is to win the tournament, okay?
The whole thing.
Now, the DraftKings does have to make the College World Series, and I will get involved in that market as the season progresses because I'm looking down the line. Maybe it's some kind of a flyer. But these are teams right now that I feel that are priced such that in 2 months from now, these prices will be gone. Arkansas is one of them. They're currently 11-1 anywhere you shop, but it's at Circa they were 18-1. Now today they're 16.5-1. Why? Because I've opened my big yapper and told some of my buddies to get up to Circa and go bet some Arkansas. I think Arkansas are chokers, and I don't think they can win it. But if I can get them to the College World Series, I can monetize that ticket. I got LSU at 10-1. I got Texas at 15-1. I made 6 releases. Yep. 3 are SEC.
Yes.
So don't think that I've diluted my thought process on the SEC.
Well, no, just more. Oregon State doesn't surprise me that you have on there because they're consistently up there. The one that kind of caught me by surprise was UCLA in that list.
Yeah, UCLA is a team that was very good last year. They have great, strong pitching. Struggled with their hitting last year. I think they make some adjustments. And UCLA is a team that's a Big Ten team.
Yes.
But they are south of Mason-Dixon.
Yeah.
And if you look at every team I played, except for Oregon State, which is a really storied traditional powerhouse in baseball, all these teams are south of Mason-Dixon.
Well, you have North Carolina in there as well, 22-1 odds as well.
Yeah.
Half a unit
ACC.
on them. But the thing that worries me about UCLA and kind of what it caught my eye is UCLA is one of those schools in every sport since they've been in the Big Ten that complains about the travel schedule, how much travel they have to do, how unfair it is to them that they have to travel so much to the Midwest to do stuff and things to that. And it affects their play in every sport. It affected them last year in baseball as well. Do you factor any of that in?
No, because let's say UCLA, woe is me. They got to travel to Nebraska to play.
Do it all the time.
Well, these teams, Nebraska, Rutgers, Michigan, they're all northern teams that are practicing in gyms. UCLA's practicing outside on beautiful green grass. Advantage team with the weather.
Okay.
College baseball, look at that Mason-Dixon. And if you see teams up here, forget about them. They're not going to the College World Series. One might, but they're not.
Is that why you think Arkansas is so high at Circa? Everywhere else it's 11-1. I'm assuming people are taking into account how they keep choking every year when they get to the regionals and things to that effect. Is that factored into these numbers?
It has to be. Well, Circa's the smartest sports book out there, really. They set their own numbers. They do their own thing.
Absolutely.
For everyone to be at 11 and Circa to be at 18, I thought to myself, now, wait a minute. Are they trying to get my money? Did they take bets on other SEC teams? Why is that line so off?
Yeah.
But it's early in the season. It's simply one unit. And I know that coach at Arkansas used to be at Nebraska, Dave Van Horn, and they were there last year. They've been in super regionals and regionals they have a good program. I believe they make it to Omaha. And then if they can make it to Omaha, if I'm sitting at 18-1, I can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, again, what do you call it? Hedging those a little bit and hedge that number and
I
stuff?
can monetize the
Yeah.
ticket by using another team in the bracket to
Yeah,
beat them
okay.
or whatever.
Exactly. So yeah, I just wonder because then like I said, as a fan, I look at this more like a fan. Man, Arkansas chokes a lot. Man.
Oh,
it's
boy,
like
do they.
devastating choking.
Oh, they're just
Not-
consummate
yeah,
chokers.
not
At home.
Oh, a call went the wrong way. Like have
At-
the lead.
At home in regionals against teams they should beat.
Ball gets dropped that shouldn't be dropped, and it scores 2 runs. It's just devastating losses for them. Which every year, of course, it changes, so it's different teams and stuff like that. But it's like there's curse over them and everything for them. But baseball is getting ready to get started.
Yeah.
I saw Arizona. Has some hopes this year down there in Tucson. Your old school down there as well, and we'll see what happens with Arizona State. The emphasis on Arizona State this year has been pitching. They can hit the ball. Their pitching's been the letdown last couple of years. That's been the emphasis up here. So we'll see if they can make some waves.
Yeah, you
this
notice I
season.
didn't use Arizona. I wanted to.
Yeah.
I want them to do well. I went to school there, but just 6 at this point is a lot.
Yeah.
It's all I need right now. I bet I don't add to this for 2 months.
Just to wait to see how they're
I want to
playing.
watch and see and learn because there's a lot of surprises. And somebody's going to say in 2 months, Lou, Oregon State, what do you do? Are you deaf, dumb, and blind kid, Tommy? Maybe. We'll see.
No doubt about it. Of course, Olympic hockey. I know you're going to be racing home today to watch that, as am I. Now the U.S. plays Latvia today, so I'm not
They're
like
giving 4.5 goals.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
It's not like we're excited to get there to watch that. They should dominate this game, obviously, and if they don't, it'll be alarming. But that's happening today from that side. So, do you bet on Olympic hockey?
I will in USA and Canada. I can't wait to watch that. That'll be
No
really
fighting in this, just so everybody know. There's automatic ejection if you fight. So this isn't going to be like the 4 countries, the 4-nation battle. No fighting. You get kicked out immediately. The overtime rules are different in this as well, but still obviously entertaining with the 2 countries.
And when you get Canada, U.S., you throw in Sweden, Finland, and Slovakia, and you have 5 awesome teams chock full of NHL players. It's going to be fun to watch.
I told you yesterday I kind of enjoyed the Italy game. Who they play? Sweden, I think. I forget who they played, but NHL All-Stars on one side, not one NHL player on the other side, and it was kind of I was
Italy
like
took
kind of
the
rooting
lead.
for them, Yeah, they got the lead and they gave it up like 12 seconds later. But they got the lead. They were all celebrating it, gave it up immediately. But you got to kind of root for that on the other side of, hey, there's no NHLs over here with all these All-Stars on the other side.
So while we're talking about the Olympic hockey,
Yes.
how will the Olympic hockey affect the NHL? Because a lot of the NHL players have gone to play the Olympic hockey. Will they be tired and gassed when they get back? And that's what I'm hoping for
Well, they'd be
for
injured.
Colorado,
Yeah.
because Colorado's got players on the team.
The whole team's practically playing in the
Colorado
Olympics.
is just smoking everybody
Yes.
in the NHL. And so when you look at my NHL releases, there's 2 teams from the East and 1 from the West. It's Minnesota. Lou, why would you pick a flyer like Minnesota?
It caught my eye, Lou.
Yeah, because I'm looking for somebody that's going to have the wherewithal to compete with and or get by Colorado. I'm hoping Colorado comes back looking like zombies and a team can overtake them. I know one thing, it ain't Dallas.
That's what I was
Dallas is
gonna ask
like
you.
Arkansas. It ain't Dallas because the goaltender whose name begins with an O just can't play. He struggles so mightily in the playoffs. So I can rule out Dallas.
He's
Plus,
their weekend, yeah.
plus their offense is a little off.
Defensive team.
You have to trust too much in Edmonton, and they don't play defense. And Minnesota plays defense and has a goaltender, and so I thought I'd give Minnesota a little bit.
Yeah,
of a look.
Avalanche right now. And Avalanche, if you haven't been following hockey, it's pretty much dominated the season so far. 83 points for them, 78 for the Wild. But no, I saw that, Lou, and it piqued my interest. And I was wondering if it was a flyer or if you had real thoughts on Minnesota.
No,
here
I
moving
bet them
forward,
because
so.
I want to cash a ticket. It was between them and Vegas. Vegas is a good.
And Vegas
good
has
team
made
too.
a couple big trades here.
They
to
have, and
bolster
they
them
do,
up.
and they're active. And so Vegas is another team you're going to have to watch. And they play from the goal out, meaning they have a goaltender, they play defense in front of them, And oh, by the way, if they can score a goal or two, bully for them. So that's the kind of team I'm looking for to back in the NHL playoffs.
You have Tampa also on your release as well to win the conference there. Tampa being plus 190 going into this as well. But the other one that kind of caught my eye as well, I mean, is Montreal Canadiens that you have here. Plus 1,400 at Circa right now is what you have listed here. Why the Canadiens?
Yeah, again, if you look at the East, you're looking at Columbus, Tampa.
That's why I'm asking, though, because Tampa and
not
Montreal
Columbus.
are in the same.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, Tampa and Montreal are in the same
They are.
conference.
They
you
are,
have
but
two bets
they
of the
play
same
in
deal.
the East. So
Yes.
this is to win the NHL conference now,
okay.
not the Cup.
Yeah.
So they both play in the East, and I'm taking two East teams because I don't believe in Carolina. Columbus is a flyer that could show up. Maybe I tend to think that Jersey, we haven't heard the last of them, but others don't like Jersey. But the Canadiens are a team that's playing decent hockey right now, and from the vantage point of when I released that 14-1 seemed reasonable to me. I believe they'll make the tournament. And if, these Canadian teams that make the tournament, boy, we want a Canadian team to hoist the cup here pretty soon.
Absolutely not, Lou. I'm not on board with that at all.
I think it would be good
Blame
for hockey.
Canada.
I think it would be good for hockey.
They're
I know
gonna
one
start
thing.
acting like they owe us something. and
Somebody
they-
got to get that trophy out of Florida.
Well,
and as you can see, I
somebody's
did
gotta
take
do
Tampa.
that.
I mean, between
Yeah.
Tampa and Florida, they've won the last 7 years or something.
Yeah, and they're always there. No, I don't think there's any doubt about that. We got to get it out of South Florida of all places, let alone Florida, and things like that. But that's the other side. I firmly believe this, that the Canadian teams, when they get to the playoffs, just extra pressure on them with the whole country, with their fan base. We're going to be the ones to do it, and I think that hurts them as the playoffs go on. Toronto is the one team that I don't think it does, because Toronto fans are rabid regardless.
Well, Toronto
whether they play.
fans know the futility of their
Yeah, that's what I'm
team. They're
getting at.
not
So they're excited about it, but they're also going, we're going to lose. Something bad's going to happen, and we're going to lose this, eh? So Toronto's a little different, but all the other Canadian teams, their fan base is just going to put so much pressure on them. And it's better that they play on the road.
Yeah, these
in my
kids grow
eyes,
up
so.
dreaming about hoisting a cup. I don't buy the pressure. I don't buy it.
But I just found that interesting because Tampa and Montreal both being in the Atlantic there and the East, they're going to be battling it out. Those are probably going to be two teams. You don't have any faith in Carolina, though, huh?
No.
Older team.
I think that Brenda Moore tends to hold the stick a little bit too tight. He's too intense come playoff time, and they play that way. You can't pull a pin out of their rear end with a pliers.
Any teams that you're looking at that are just like more, I'm going to call them long shots, but teams like the Utah Mammoth, they're in the wild card spot right now. Do you see them? Anaheim Ducks are in there.
Where are the
Seattle
Crack?
Kraken's third in the Pacific.
Yeah,
right
the
now.
Crack. I could postulate.
They're going to move back and forth because everybody in the Pacific there, Golden Knights, Oilers, Kraken, Mammoth, and Ducks, they're all basically within a few points of each other.
And
so
the Ducks
that's
are
going to move
probably a
around.
year away, but
Young team.
And
yeah.
I love the Mammoth. I've been looking for a zip down hoodie that has a Mammoth logo.
I
They're all
love the
sold out,
Mammoth
man.
logo.
I do too. And getting that new stuff is cool. And so
I like that
I'm in
logo.
the market for some Mammoth stuff.
Yeah, I just half I make fun of the owner in the arena all the time, but no, that Pacific, even with the Knights, they're starting to pull away. They're 4 points up on the rest of those teams, but there's something missing on Oilers this year. Is that just because they've been to the finals the last 2 years and they're kind of hitting a wall, or is there something else going on with the Oilers?
Yeah, they've moved a few players. They've never been a from the goal team out. They fill up the basket with offense.
Yeah.
And it's always been defense, blue line, and goaltending for them, and they're just sluggish right now. I don't know what to think of them.
They've done that. They've done that last couple of years also, and then they make it to the finals.
They had Draisaitl and the other
McDavid.
superstar McDavid, playing end to end. So this year might be a little bit different.
I think
changed some chemistry.
I think the West
too.
is close enough that any of those teams can probably make a run to get to the Stanley Cup.
That's a good
because it's just a
observation.
close deal. Now they have to get past Colorado, in terms of that. But in terms of everybody else, they're kind of just evenly bunched together, I feel.
I agree, and it's kind of like when you hear these guys talk about the golf tournament. Well, we're betting this is the everybody but Scotty market. That's what the West is. You can't bet Colorado at that price, so you got to find someone else, which is what I was trying to do with the Minnesota Wild.
Yep. So perfect. So those are your future releases. If you guys don't forget them, you didn't write them down, you're at work, whatever, and you're interested, Gamblu.com. It's on the blog there on the front page there. For you as well. So, Lou, you're going to look forward to the Olympic hockey coming up. Olympics are off for another 2 weeks. Or, sorry, NHL's off for another couple weeks here. I'm being facetious when I say this, everybody, but let's see what his reaction is. Who do you got for the All-Star game this weekend, for the NBA All-Star game?
Is there a NBA game this weekend?
The All-Star game.
Yeah,
it's got two
I
U.S. teams against and a world team as well, battling it out this weekend.
I do not use the word hate, but if I did, it would apply to the NBA. I greatly dislike everything to do with the NBA. I don't understand it. I've never handicapped it. Will I watch a couple of last 5 minutes of the NCAA basketball tournament?
Yeah.
Probably, especially because I got a little wager on the Cats to make the Final Four.
Do you?
But that's NCAA where they're young and they're thin and they're playing for pride and it matters to them. I can't say anything positive about the NBA, and that's why I was surprised today when I came in and Steve wasn't talking about the NBA, because usually
we talked about it earlier
in the segment before I come on, he talks NBA because he knows he's not going to have to hear from the peanut section from me during his dialogue.
Yeah, Lou, if you don't know what happened, we should put your camera on you. When I'm talking anything but basketball, Lou will be sitting there doing stuff, and then you'll see him go, and then back to work again. When I talk NBA, it's just focused.
Yeah, right.
no attention to anything. No, we talked about it earlier, and I don't know how you can even bet the NBA these days. Like yesterday, the Suns just inexplicably, set their two superstars and, change that game. It's just like you just never know who's going to play, who's going to sit out. And
aren't the Suns doing better than people thought so far this year? Is that the truth?
They were the first team, and they already hit their over-under for Vegas. They're already over their Vegas number at the beginning of the year.
Is that right?
We had them bet at 30.5 games wins, and they're at 32 right now.
Did you have the over?
Yeah, we had the over. Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Way to go.
And
that's a good handicap.
Pays us back for the last 2 years.
Nobody asked about 2 years ago.
That's true. I shouldn't talk about that. Only talk about my earnings.
That's right.
On my future bets, I normally do $5 bets. On my future bets, I'll either do 10 or 20, depending on how strongly I feel about it. Stuff like that, and finally nailed one. Yeah.
I do have one NBA future bet on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I took it before the season started to win the West at maybe 2-1 or 230 or something like that, and so they're going to have to get by Denver and San Antonio. Who is it?
San Antonio and Denver would be the two major competition. It just San Antonio and the Thunder will be a fun series. You might sweat a little bit if they match up. But I think otherwise they kind of cruise again to it.
Interesting. I guarantee I won't sweat because I won't be watching it.
Just in terms of the money side, that. So Lou is checking out World Baseball Classic. Follow him on Gamblu as well. He'll do updates as they come out and things that he puts out. He puts it right onto his Twitter feed. You see it, you go to your apps and you get it done, or you see it and you look at your coworker and you go, "Hey, Timmy, remember the other day when you said you didn't like Japan in the World Baseball Classic?" And you go, no. Let me tell you why. And then you espouse the reasons why that Lou tells you there. Make yourself look smart out there.
Or you see it and you laugh and say, Lou's must have been in the hooch last night because you don't know what he's talking about.
Timmy, remember when you said Japan plus 320? You like that? Well, this guy Uncle Lou liked it too, so I'm going to go the other way. Whatever you want to do there. Lou, as always, thanks for joining us here today. You'll be back next week. UFC next week again.
Yes.
And, of course, we'll keep our eye on the Olympics and the baseball stuff out there.
Go Norway.
World Baseball Classic wrapping up here. March 6th, we have to wait till to get that started, but it'll be fun to watch.
Be great.
And everything. So are you looking forward to betting spring training?
I don't bet regular season baseball. Outside of some season over-under total wins, I'll make 2 or 3 in that market, because then I can look at this. You say sports page, it's the computer anymore. But you look each day and you can see, is your team won 3 in a row or lost 3 in a row. And I love the season over-under
roll it up
baseball
and
bets.
down.
I love that bet.
I saw it yesterday. Diamondbacks are, I don't know what the gambling odds are, but a lot of publications are saying they're going to be 80 and 82 and that 500 range on the season. And I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I like that over or not. Because you'll be playing off of the injuries they have right now. Are they getting Corbin Burns
Yeah,
back
no,
in
you
July
got
and
some
stuff
you
like
got some
that?
pitching staff questions there that would really make me hesitate thinking they were going over.
Really? Even if you're getting those guys back, you'd hesitate a little? That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm like, maybe we can get lucky. It'd be a
Even
flyer
so,
bet. It'd be a flyer
even
bet.
so, and remember last year the Diamondbacks started 83.5. They were bet up to 87.5,
Yeah.
and they came under easy peasy. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes this year.
Yeah, all right, Lou, talk me out of it. Fine. Hey, folks, Lou will be back next Thursday with us. Appreciate him, as always, Lou. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For everybody else, McCollum on Business is in the can already. It's up on demand. We did that early this morning. And then, of course, we come back tomorrow for a main event. Don't forget, Pit Stop is up. We started our 2026 season of the Pit Stop with Racing. Duels tonight there in NASCAR, so follow me at the Pit Stop Talk for all the racing stuff out there. And we'll see you later, everybody. Have a great Thursday night.